right, hello everyone, and peace of Christ to you all again. Let us not to waste time and see the jewelries of Allah and how those Muslims, they always help us to expose their cult. Now, I will start the video from a little bit from the beginning, and we just made a video about the sex registry because this guy is an expert. So we will go from there and we will continue and see how this funny, how Muslims they answer, how Muslims they try to refute us. They do really refute, or they play games and they are ashamed of what their God teaching. Let us hear together.
One video, it popped up. It was because you mentioned Christian Prince.
Okay.
And you said you challenged him to a debate. You said you debate anyone. So
anyone.
So we decided. We know Christian Prince is not going to come down.
Okay.
He's not comfortable revealing his identity.
Why?
But
I mean, you're here. Nobody's. That's a good question for Christian Prince, right? That I mean, you guys are here. Anybody harming you? Anybody attacking you?
I don't think that's the. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't speak.
Is he like on a sex registry somewhere? Like, is there a problem?
Yeah, brother, sex registry. Yeah, you know what happened? I don't know this, brother. I found out that if a man he had sex with someone under the age of 14, he will be in sex registry, or actually even between 14 and 17, and he will go to jail for a long time in USA, brother. And for sure, I will never do such a thing. But your prophet did. You see, you live in America, right? So I want to ask you, do you respect the law of America, or you coward, you will say, ignore it? Which one, as long you are the one who mentions sex registry. Hey, by the way, why Christian Prince, he don't show his face? Is he in sex registry? And why it come to your mind such a thing, unless you are a perverted man like your prophet? This is Department of Justice saying, if a man have sexual relationship, adult man, with someone, even if she is between the age of 14 or 15 or 17, he will go to jail and he will be in the sex registry, and he will be considered as a person who practiced sex trafficking. My friend, this is your prophet, not me. I will never do a thing. I never even have a ticket. Never have a ticket for driving, you coward. I'm a person who served. I joined the army of USA. Who are you? You are a potato, coward. So, because they cannot refute Christian Prince, why Christian Prince don't show himself? Is he in sex registry or something? Expert. You are the expert in sex registry. You know, there is a hadith here. It says that Aisha, she was a child. Not only she was 6 years old playing with her dolls, even it says that even at the age of 14, still she did not have her period. So my friend, according to Department of Justice, your prophet will be arrested in the airport immediately, for he is a sex offender and he is a child molester, and he is practicing sex trafficking, and he is doing child abuse. In the top of that, he is a rapist for a child, and she is a minor. So when a Muslim speak about sex registry, watch your mouth. It is your prophet, the best man of Islam, is the one in the sex registry, not us. Now, let us go back to the topic. You see, because they cannot refute me, so they try to, shallow, trashy talk. Is he in sex registry, brother? Do you think I am like Muhammad? Brother, as I know you are coming from Pakistan, and according to Fox News, it says that #1 country in the world who search for porn and sex with the children, or rape, and sex with animals is Pakistan. To the point even Fox News, they call Pakistan, your country, praise be to Allah, Pornistan. And I don't like to say things without proofs. Pornistan, Pakistan. #1 people in the world who search for sex with I mean, what I'm getting here, I'm searching for Fox News. Look what we get. Okay. And that explains why you are speaking in such a manner. Here we go. This is Fox News, my friend. It's not me. And Fox News, they get it from Google. And you know, Google, they hate Christianity, my friend. You know that, right? So, #1 nation for sex search, call it Pornistan. And what they search for? I mean, you can read the article yourself. Sex with the children, rape, sex with animals, sex with donkey. I don't know what to say. I'm really, I don't know. I'm really worried about you. #1 search in Pornistan is sex, camel sex, rape video, child sex video. This is your country. So as you see in America, we have a law. If someone like Muhammad arrived to the airport, we put him in sex registry and he will be arrested, and whatever he move, we send a letter to anyone in the neighborhood says Muhammad Rasulullah, he is a sex offender, he's a child molester, he is a neighborhood, watch your children's. And if he rape a child, he will stay in jail forever, and mostly actually he will not get out, because even the criminals, they will not let him live. So this is the situation of your prophet, the prophet who have sex with children. So why are you trying to insult me, my friend? Shame on you. Now the Muslims, all of them, they will be upset from you, because if you did not speak in such a way, I will not be mentioning this. But sadly, you force me. The prophet, he married me at the age of 6. I mean, this is, and you will say to us that Aisha, she was a woman at that age. And actually there's a story says that Aisha, she raped the prophet. The prophet was naive. He was 54 years old. Aisha, she asked him to go to the dark room, and she told him, if you take off your pant, I will give you candies. And the prophet, he is so decent, he do not know what's going on. So he took off his pant, and then she told him, okay, now if you show me something between your legs, I will give you more baklava. The prophet, he said, okay, I will show you. Then Aisha, she jumped on him and she did what she did, and all of us, we knew the rest of the story. And not to forget that Allah, he made Muhammad see her in his dream. I was wondering what he was seeing. Someone, she is 6 years old. Allah told him in the dream that you have to marry Aisha. And you are talking about sex offenders and sex registry. Mut'a boy. Now we go to the video. This topic is already covered. You can watch previous video and see how Muhammad is totally a perverted man with all the proofs and reference. Now we go here in the video, and now this guy, he will show us his knowledge. He's very knowledgeable, by the way. I mean, we have to admit, knowledge is all over the place.
With showing his face, I show my face. I don't have a
I know a
problem.
lot of
You're here,
Yeah.
face, but
right? So why would he be ashamed of showing?
My friend, I'm not ashamed. If I am ashamed, I will not be exposing your prophet, and I will not write for books. There's no coward will write for books about your filthy prophet, and no coward will dare to say filthy prophet. Only coward, they will never dare to do so. And you are a potato. I challenge you to say in the middle of America that we have to do jihad against America, which is the Quran is teaching you. Isn't it the Quran says in chapter 5 verse 51, take not Christians and Jews as friends? Do you pay tax? If you pay tax, you are one of them. Do you accept the president in the White House as a president? If you do so, you are one of them. Do you carry an American passport? If you do so, you are one of them. That's what the Quran says. But you are a potato and you are a coward and you are ashamed of your Quran. This is why you stand there. You don't dare to mention what your Quran teach about not to take the Jews and the Christians. I challenge you in the place next week where you're standing now to shout clearly. The Quran says, take not Christians and Jews as a friends. They are our enemies. We should do jihad against them. Do it if you are a man. Or maybe you are ashamed of your filthy Quran. You are just a little tiny coward who don't dare to preach his book. Actually, I have another challenge for you. Do you dare even to take my book with you to Pakistan? Just take it with you in the airport. Let us see what they will do to you. Take one of my books, Deception of Allah, Quran and Science, Sex and Allah, whatever books you want. Take them with you in the airport and let us see what they will do to you just by carrying my book. You are a potato. And that's why you don't dare to get close to me. So now let us go to the topic. Let us see.
Answering if you let me speak. Okay, okay, look. You see this?
Let's just
you see this?
Let's just
You see this?
He's just clarifying the question.
Let's
Sure.
be clear what the question is, and then I'll let you talk. Face, eyes, hands, shin, foot, or feet. No. Does he have those attributes, those qualities? And I'm not asking you to describe what those qualities are.
Are you done with your question?
My question is, does he have multiple attributes?
You see why you're not letting me answer, right?
He's
Okay, thank you. So can I speak? Okay, so as I listen to you, please listen to me, okay? Allah is one, undivisible, okay? Ahad, He is the one that is one without two, okay? He has sifat that are all His.
And sifat?
Can I finish? I'll explain it. No, I don't need you to define it for me. Thank you.
I'm asking you to.
I will.
Okay.
See, when I asked you to let me speak, you interrupted me again. But if you just let me, don't be insulting towards me. Let me speak.
You're being insulting. All I'm asking you to do is.
Am I being insulting or am I trying to answer here?
Well,
Would?
No, actually you are not answering. The question was, Allah have hands, Allah have feet, Allah. Who care if Allah He have description? This is not the question. This is why they are not interrupting you. They are trying to correct you because you are trying to play a game that you understand the question in different way. When this is not the question. They are asking you, do Allah have parts? So you start saying Allah have description. But this is not the question. And when they try to correct you, you play a victim as usual. Oh, see, they will not let me talk. But this is not the question. You are answering a question they did not ask. Always, they play victims. And they avoid the question.
Am I trying to answer or am I being
I
insulting?
think he just wanted a lot of.
Look, if you want my answer, you have to listen to my answer.
Yeah, I'm just explaining what he's saying. A lot of your viewers are going to be familiar with terms that our viewers might not.
I'll
be
explain
familiar
it
with.
if he lets me.
Yeah,
okay. So you need to know. I need you to explain it.
When you speak, I'm going to listen. When I speak, you can listen. And then if you would like to get a clarification after I'm... See, again, look at this, right? He doesn't want me to speak.
You idiot. I mean, this is a conversation post, people talking. What's wrong with you? You see how right away he started to jump a victim? He's a victim again. He will not let me speak. You cannot talk to him this time. He will not let me speak. See? Look, he will not let me speak. Okay, speak.
We've already agreed.
Let your audience see this.
We've already agreed.
That you won't let me speak.
Won't tell us what's
I will if you listen. Okay.
Go ahead.
If you need a clarification afterwards, please wait for me to let it finish and then ask me to clarify. Is that understandable? Can we have a civil discussion here? There we go again.
See, civil discussion. The followers of a perverted prophet who said, if somebody he mentioned his parents or his inheritance from previous time of Islam, tell him and go bite the penis of your father. Where was your prophet in his ethic and the prophet of biting penises? At least Anton, he did not say to you, go and bite the penis of your father. He is saying to you, this is not my question, and let me explain to you my question. So you don't want him even to explain the question in order to answer him. You jump to answering the question without even hearing the question. But you know the question. But you play dumb because you don't want to answer it. And I will show that.
You just asked
Okay.
the question, I answered.
Your own buddy is telling you let him answer, bro. Let him go.
what he said.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let him
At
answer
least
it.
you want to hear it. Okay. So when you talk about sifat, they are of Allah's characteristics. They're not divisible. You cannot take the hand away from the face. They are all a part of Allah. Okay?
Part?
They are all parts of Allah. Did you hear it? They are all parts of Allah. But that this is mean they are not description. Those are parts. They are physical parts. There's a huge difference between description and physical parts. So now because they keep pushing him to talk about the part, he fell into the trap. He's a fool. He just mentioned the word trap, or word part. And right away they will say to him, did you say part?
Yes. Okay. Sifat are characteristics. You understand? For example, this is a gentleman named David, right? Now, this is your face, this is your hand, this is one. If I cut your hand off, it will not exist anymore, right? Because that is now cut off from your body, right? This is you, understand? Allah has sifat that are not like humans. They're not like us. لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ. But He has sifat that He told us about in the Quran and upon the lisan of the Prophet. Now let me explain those words. Allah has characteristics that He has explained in His holy book, the Quran, and upon the tongue of His Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. But He is one. He's not divisible. He doesn't become into parts, not Legos. That is not the way it works in Islam. Okay? Now, any terms you didn't understand,
No,
Anthony?
I understood the terms, and I
Okay,
think
just want to be clear.
defining them for the sake of the audience. But
Excellent.
Here's my question. At one point, you said he has sifat. These are attributes, characteristics, parts of him.
Yep.
They're inseparable from him.
Yep.
But you referred to them as parts. So do you believe?
I did
that
not.
Allah- You did use.
He did not. He did not refer to them as parts. Did you hear it? He did not refer to them as parts. I mean, you idiot. And this is a video recorded by them. You did not refer to them as parts? Shall I play the video again? I did not. Like what? You did not.
Of the Prophet. Now let me explain those words. Allah has characteristics that He has explained in His holy book, the Quran. At least you want to hear it. Okay. So when you talk about sifat, they are of Allah's characteristics. They're not divisible. You cannot take the hand away from the face. They are all a part of Allah. Okay?
Part?
After a few seconds, he will say, I did not say part. I mean, it did not take him, did not even take him like the second day. I mean, this guy is the same as Muhammad. He say Quran in the morning, he forget it afternoon. He's worse. You just said that.
Yes. Okay. Sifat are characteristics. You understand? For example, this is a gentleman named David, right? Now, this is your face, this is your hand, this is one. If I cut your hand off, it will not exist anymore, right? Because that is now cut off from your body, right? This is you, understand? Allah has sifat that are not like humans. They're not like us. لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ. But He has sifat that He told us about in the Quran.
How he have a description, nothing like anyone, and then you say Allah have a hand. The second you say a hand, Allah is using words we use for us, for our hand. So it is Allah who's making Himself look like us, not us making ourselves look like Allah. When Allah He says He have a face, that means Allah have a back. When Allah He says He have a foot, that means Allah He walk. Because this is what foot does. When Allah He says He have 5 fingers, and then you say, there's nothing like Allah. Who care, my friend? Nothing like me too, and nothing like you. According to science, every single one of us is an individual, but doesn't make us gods. If nothing like me doesn't make me God. According to science, even identical twins are not the same exactly. Even every flicker of snow, there's none is the same as other one. You see how much snow we have? Not a single one is the same as other one. Does that mean snow is God? So stop saying nothing like Allah. We got that one. But they cannot explain to us how Allah have a body parts. And now he will deny that he said parts.
and upon the lisan of the Prophet. Now let me explain those words. Allah has characteristics that He has explained in His holy book, the Quran, and upon the tongue of His Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. But He is one. He's not divisible. He doesn't become into parts, not Legos. That is not the way it works in Islam. Okay? Now, any terms you didn't understand?
Okay, Allah is one. So how the Quran says, Allah He say in the Quran, if we like to have a partner as a wife or to have a son, we will take it from us. I challenge this Abdul, who he claimed he can answer. And by the way, he never answered anything. This coward, he avoided me totally. He made a video saying he want to challenge me to debate me because the Muslim keep harassing him, saying, hey, can you stop this guy? He is making a lot of Muslims leave Islam. So look at this. This is the Quran. Allah is talking, not Abdul in America, who do not know how to say his prophet name correctly. Have we intended to take a pastime, a wife, or a son, etc., we could surely have taken it from us. Okay. When we say the Muslims, hey Muslims, Allah, He keeps saying we. They say Allah speak about Himself as a majestic king. But you know what? When you say that, that will even make it more funny. Because when a king, he say we, he speak about the authority which is given to him by the crowd, the ministers, the generals, etc. So we. Allah was given authority by who? Secondly, if it's not fit for Allah to say I, it's better for Him to say we. Obviously, Allah is in favor to be more than one. He is jealous. He wish, but He cannot make it. In the same time now, if Allah, He keeps saying we, and now He is saying us, but He's talking about having 6 partners, and then us is who? If Allah want to take a wife and you say to us mean Allah, that's mean Allah is going to marry Himself. And then He is going to do boom boom with Himself, and then He will deliver a baby. Because the verse is so clear. It's talking about taking lahu. Lahu in the Arabic language mean a woman. The translation here says take a pastime. So lahu in Arabic means fun, by the way, fun. Like when you have fun. So the Arab, the Islam insult women and they call them fun. So if we want to take a fun, which means a woman, this is why the translation is saying between 2 brackets, i.e. wife, so he can have a son, we surely have taken it from us. And then here you notice the translator, he says taking it. Did you notice it? Taking it, not taking her. So what is the object which Allah is going to take as a wife, which is part of Him? Because remember, He just said that Allah is one. And Allah is going to have sex with it, which is from us. Are you listening, Muslims? So when this Abdul tried to explain something, he himself, he is so scared to go in details, otherwise the Muslim themselves, they will jump all over him. This is a very sensitive topic, and the biggest scholars of Islam, they avoid it. And this is why this guy, he is in the limbo, like he don't know what to say. Someone saying what if it's a man. No, it cannot be a man, because here the word the pastime translated is the word lahu, which is a woman. And here we ask a question, is Allah is a male or female? Obviously Allah is a male by gender too. The Quran keeps saying it is He, and now Allah is speaking about taking a woman as a partner. Do you see it? So when those Muslims, they try to prevent us from making a question clear, they are trying to prevent themselves from making a mistake. Because the more you make it clear, the more it's going to be embarrassing. We go back to the video so we can laugh more. Continue, Abdul. You are the expert.
Anthony?
I understood the terms, and I
Okay,
thank
just
you
want to
for
be clear.
defining them for the sake of the audience. But
Excellent.
here's my question. At one point you said he has sifat. These are attributes, characteristics, parts of him.
Yep.
They're inseparable from him.
Yep.
But you referred to them as parts. So do you believe
I did not.
You did use the term part.
I said
You said they're
sifat.
a part.
I'll let
They're,
you-
they're a
but
part
I'll-
of him.
Okay. So you
let's-
did use that term.
Sure, we will say sifat.
So you
That's
would
where I can.
grant that at least in that sense.
See, now he noticed that he said something he should not say. This is why he's trying to say, I did not say that. I did not say part. And then you said, no, you said that. And I remember, okay, it's in the video. Yeah, I said they are part, but this is a description. You said part. Description is not part. If you describe a person that he is tall, that will not make the word tall a part. It's not. If you say someone is ugly, that does not make the word ugly part of the person. That is description. There's a huge difference between description and the word part. And he used both. Potato.
That Allah is not absolutely one. You don't mean he's absolutely one in the sense that he has no attributes. He has attributes.
You want me to respond?
Yes.
You see how I listen to you respectfully without interrupting you? No, I do need to do that because no, we're not, because you already interrupted.
You see, you're interrupting now. This guy is talking, and you're interrupting him, but he don't complain. This is the difference. When he interrupt Anthony Roger, he don't say you're interrupting me. I mean, the guy is still talking. You jumped, and then if you are talking and he jumped, you say, see, he's interrupting me, just to make yourself look better. But the guy you just explained, and now it's his turn to talk. The second he starts talking, says, you're interrupting me.
There you go again.
So the sifat of look at this.
Look at this.
Your own friend is telling you be quiet, man.
He's
Listen.
begging you to hurry up.
No, he's not. He's telling you to be quiet.
Abdul, they are laughing at you, both of them. The other guy is saying to him, let this idiot talk so we can laugh more. Let him make mistake. Actually, I advise all the Christians to let those people talk, because the more they talk, the more they do poo-poo like their prophet. If you don't let him talk, he will not make too much poo-poo. Let him talk. As you see, you let him speak for 30 seconds, he made big poo-poo. He says Allah have parts. So why you don't wait more? I support you, man. Go ahead.
I'm interested in the answer.
Thank you.
And then I want to hear a response.
Okay,
it's cool.
so sifat are not things that make you more than one. This is your misunderstanding. Okay, when Allah is one, He's indivisible, absolutely one. His sifat is His. That does not make Him more than one. This is your misunderstanding. If you had studied Aqidah, and if you like to, we have durus, you can learn them, you would have known that the sifat of Allah are unique to Him and are only His and are part of Him. They are not divisible. Having sifat does not make you more than one. This is your misunderstanding. Can I finish now?
Oh, are you finished?
No, I'm not. If I was finished, then I wouldn't be talking anymore, right? Thank you. Now, if you look at any object in this worldly things, right? Like, I mean, I'm giving you just a worldly example, right? If you look at a tree, right? A tree is one. If a tree has leaves and fruits and all of that, that doesn't mean that the tree is more than one. Now, if the fruit breaks from the tree, it's no longer a part of the tree, right? Now it's no longer a characteristic of the tree itself. Understand? Allah is one. He has sifat, but that does not make Him more than one. Are we clear?
So what this tree thing about you mentioned, what does that mean? First of all, let us show you again how this guy is a fool, and obviously he did not understand his religion. If we go in the hadith, we will find this. Let us go there. Allah will come in the judgment day in a shape other than the one which the Muslim they saw first time. And remember carefully here, this is not in description other than, it is in a shape. Let us, okay. And this hadith is very sahih, this is very authentic. So Allah will come in the shape, and that shape, let us go. This is, as you see, Sahih al-Bukhari. This is hadith number, this is the first hadith, 4581. This is the second hadith, 6573. And this is the third hadith, and we stop here. This is Sahih al-Bukhari, very authentic, very correct. So he cannot play the game of weak and strong, as usual. Here it says that Allah will come in a shape other than the one which they saw first time. Remember, he said, if a fruit fell off a tree, this fruit is no longer part of that tree. All right. So now Allah, he come to them in a new shape other than the one which they saw first time. Question to this Abdul, which he will never answer. What happened to the first shape? Any Muslim can answer us? The Almighty will come to them in a shape other than the one which they saw first time. And Muslim, did you see Allah first time? That is a question which they cannot answer to. And he will say, I am your Lord. And they will say, you are not our Lord. Here, that's mean that not only Allah shape changed, even Allah description changed, to the point Muslims could not recognize him. So even the description of Allah is not eternal, is not fixed, it's flexible. And this is proven in front of you. Allah is not a fixed person. Allah is not one thing and he is the same thing forever. Allah is a changeable character, and he changed his shape to the point the Muslims, they will think he is shaitan. Read carefully. And then it says, they will say to him, you are not our Lord. In different hadith it says, and we seek refuge by Allah from you. We seek refuge by Allah from you. My friend, somebody wanna call me, it's okay. You stop posting in the chat, he will call me. He's a kid. Here we go. Look, they're the guys who claim to be Shaykh. They don't dare to call me. This kid, he wanna call me? Potatoes. He will call me, he will say to me, Christian Prince, you're a liar. We got it. So stop posting, this guy wanna call you. They are a bunch of kids. Bring your Shaykh, let him call me, and then I will take him. Bring me someone with long beard so I can, you know, clean my shoes with it. Or bring the shape of Allah. We are looking for his shape. So the Muslims, when they see Allah and Allah come to them, let us see different hadith. And Allah come to them, the Muslim, they will deny that this is Allah. Why? Because obviously he looked like the devil. To the point they say to him, we seek refuge by Allah from thee. Ask yourself, what is the reason for them to say, we seek refuge by Allah from thee? What happened to the shape of Allah? What the Muslims don't like about this shape, to the point they think that he is the devil himself. Or what Allah he did, he changed his shape. This is the same God. His name is Allah, Allah, the moon God. Now he's playing a game, hide and seek. He go to his bedroom, he changed his shape, and now it's Halloween day. He come to the Muslim, he says, it's me. The Muslim, they will say to him, you idiot, you think you can fool us? We seek refuge with Allah from you. Which means the Muslims, they accuse their God to be the devil just because he changed his shape. So when this coward, he says, lying, that Allah have description and nothing like Allah. Well, if nothing like Allah, already we have two Allah, because we have two descriptions and obviously they are the opposite of each other. To the point that the second description or the second shape, it is so far from how Allah he looked like, to the point the Muslims, they believe that he is the devil and they seek refuge by Allah from Allah. So maybe Allah in this here story, he come with the two horns in his head. Maybe he have sharp teeth. Maybe his tail is shorter than the other shape. But for sure, the Muslim, they did not see in this new Allah anything have to do with the old Allah. And if you don't believe me, the story in front of you. And I challenge all the Muslims who they will make comment after, as usual. And I know what the comment, Jesus is not God and there's no Trinity. We got it, we got it. They changed the topic in the speed of light. Abdul, this is not the topic. If Jesus is not God, okay? I'm going to post an article for you from Islam that webcam for porn. Abdul, this is not the topic. The topic is when the Muslim they seek refuge from Allah to Allah. Which Allah of them is the true Allah, and what happened to the original Allah? And how Muslims, they could not recognize their God just because he changed his shape. And how you Muslim, you recognize Allah anyway? Do you see it? So those potatoes, when they claim that they have answer and they want to describe for you that Allah is one, they always fail. The Quran says if Allah want to take a partner, he is going to F himself. This is what they are saying, but doesn't make sense. There's no way that Allah he can have F himself because his penis is in the front and there's no way it's going to reach all the way back. And the verse in the Quran is so clear that Allah, he will take a partner and she is a female. And the Quran confirm all over that it is he. The Quran never say it is she. The Quran always describe Allah, it is he. And actually, you can go right now and check the Quran. You will find tons of verses saying it is he, it is he, it is he. And now Allah talking about his sexual agenda. If he would like to have a wife, he did not say if I like to have a husband. If I like to have a wife so I can have a child, then I will take it from one of us. That means the wife, she must be a goat. Because if it is a woman, or she is a woman, sorry, you know, my English is not my first language, but as I understand the grammar, when you say it, that make it an object, not a human. It doesn't say here if I want to take her, you see, a wife. Take it from who? From us. So it is one of Allah kind. Do you see it? And remember, the Muslim, they will say to you, is using false translation. This is your translation. And this is your website. Anything is embarrassing, they will go behind the curve and they will say we did not hear it, we did not see it, and then they will say to you it's weak, this is Quran. And the hadith we showed you about Allah changing his shape, this is Sahih al-Bukhari, and this hadith reported many times, which not only means it's authentic, it is mutawatir to the top level, repeatedly mentioned by Muhammadan. So when this guy, he says, there's nothing like Allah we love, because here we go, Allah, which Allah? First Allah or second Allah? Allah with the good shape or Allah with the bad shape? And then Allah, he come to them in the shape they know. And he will say, I'm your Lord. They will say, no doubt you are our Lord. So look what happened. Allah's shape changed. Muslims accepted the new shape. Did you see it? So when the guy, he said that we have description for Allah mentioned in the Quran and in the Hadith, and then Allah, he come in a shape which they don't recognize. What is the description of that Allah who you cannot recognize? And what happened to that description? And what happened to the body parts of that Allah, which Muslim they when they saw? Remember, this hadith here is about we will see Allah. They will see him physically. And then they will say to them, how we will recognize Allah? Muhammad, he said, from his shin. And then the shin of Allah will do striptease. Have you ever heard of a religion? They will recognize their God by his shin. Shin. I'm really curious to know how that can happen. Shin. Interesting. Do you know any sign which you can recognize him? And remember here again it says him, not her. Allah is a male. And yet they say to us nothing like Allah. Well, I'm a male too. Muhammad is not. They will say the shin, and then Allah will uncover his shin. Do you see it? So if we ask this guy, when Allah he come in the first time, how come the Muslim they could not recognize his shin? That this is the true shin of Allah. Obviously Allah he changed how his shin looked like. And remember, the whole hadith here speak about seeing Allah, the same as you see the moon and the sun. We said, oh Allah, apostle, shall we see our Lord in the day of resurrection? He said, do you have difficulty in seeing the sun and the moon when the sky is clear? We said no. He said, so you have no difficulty in seeing your Lord. So we are talking about Allah as we talk, seeing Allah as we see the moon, which is physical object, and the sun, which is physical object. And then we speak about Allah's shape. And Allah, he have two shapes at least. And then how we recognize Allah? Allah will uncover his shin, striptease time. So when this guy, he avoid the question going left and right, keep saying Allah is one, and Allah is one what? Is it one shape or two shape? Is the first shape is the same as the second shape? Is Allah a transformer? Or Allah, he come in a new shape, which means he killed the first shape, or he take it off? Those questions Muslims they cannot answer. He never revealed his shin. I mean, isn't it you funny, Muhammad Said? You are a guy who speak about me in the chat when I am not here. You say, Christian Prince, if you ask him what his sect, he will not answer. I don't have a sect, you idiot. Anyway, go, I answered you. You say that Christian Prince, if you ask him about the Bible, he have no answer. Call me, let us laugh. And now you are saying that he never revealed his shin. So how you know this is his shin, you idiot? What if this is the shin of a belly dancer? How you will know that this is the shin of Allah? How we recognize Allah? From his shin. But Allah never revealed his shin, so how you know this is his shin? I mean, even their answers is very weird. Brother, Allah never revealed his sin. Well, I'm so glad he did not. This shape is a metaphor. What metaphor? He changed his shape and they say to him, get lost, you are not Allah. What metaphor? And they are talking about seeing Allah, literally, physically. Let us go back to the video. So, what he's trying to say that Allah is one and nothing like Allah, those are the stories we heard before. They are repeating each other. He is repeating somehow Zakir. But then Fitr. Allah, he described himself in the Quran. Allah, he said he have hands. Allah, he have a faith. But is the faith of Allah like your faith, brother? No, brother. How Allah look like? I don't know. Allah alam. What kind of religion this religion is? So when you talk about Allah have description, and the second we asked you, okay, give a description of Allah, you say I don't know. So how Allah have a description? How the face of Allah look like? You don't know. How the shin of Allah look like? You don't know. How the hands of Allah look like? You don't know. So where is the description? Isn't it funny you say Allah have description, but you could not describe him? This is why I say stupidity is amazing. Brother, the Quran told us the description of Allah. Okay, give me the description of Allah. Allah is great. You stupid. This is not description. Allah is holy. Abdul is holy. This is what you claim. Describe your Allah. Describe him. Allah is a physical being. He have hands. He have a foot. He have a shin. Describe him for us. He have a foot. Describe the foot. I cannot do that. So you have no description of Allah. What you have is the name of the body parts, and those are not description. For there's billions of creatures have foot and leg and hand. If there is somebody is wanted, do you say to them he have a hand? They will laugh at you. They will say everybody have a hand, you idiot. So that cannot be description. If I say to you describe Allah, you say is one. Well, every individual is one anyway. I am one too. And I am not 4 or 5. But where is the description of Allah still? If we ask the sheikhs how Allah looks like,
okay,
let us go here and see how Allah looks like. Then you will see here people who have more knowledge, they go straight to the answer. But every one of them still is scared to give us a full answer.
your best knowledge from the Quran. Don't devote 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day to the Quran. No, devote more, an hour and a half to recite the Quran and to learn what it says at the same time. Now, in the Quran, Surah Al-Rahman, Allah Azza wa Jal says, وَيَبْقَى وَجْهُ رَبِّكَ ذُو الْجَلَالِ وَالْإِكْرَامِ. Everything will be perished except Allah Azza wa Jal. And here Allah Azza wa Jal is referring to himself by saying that his face will remain, which means Allah Azza wa Jal subhanahu wa ta'ala will not perish. He is the first without a beginning, and he's the last without an ending. Azza wa Jal. He's the creator of the all, what you see and what you do not see. And he's not created, and he does not die, and he does not have an ending, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah described in the Quran that he has a face. Allah described in the Quran that he has 2 hands. When he addressed Iblis, Satan, and he told him, what prevented you from prostrating to what I have created with my 2 hands? So this is what Allah described himself. Allah says in Surah Al-Qalam that on the day of judgment, Allah Azza wa Jal would uplift and show his leg. وَيُكْشَفُ عَنْ سَاقٍ وَيُدْعَوْنَ إِلَى السُّجُودِ. And they are called to prostrate, and everyone prostrates except the hypocrites. All the believers would prostrate, and the hypocrites will try to prostrate, and their back goes one.
Okay, so the shin worshippers, people, the Muslim, they will bow down to the shin of Allah. So what is the description of Allah? Those are his body parts. This is why when you talk to a Muslim and you let him talk, he will speak forever. You have to interrupt him to force him to answer the question. Otherwise, they will never answer a question. All what we heard until now have nothing to do with Allah's description, how Allah look like. All what we learned that Allah have hands, have a shin, have a face, have 5 fingers. Okay, and he sit in a chair. He have a butt. What is that? Still, we do not know who is this one you are talking about. Because there's billions of creatures have such a look. A monkey have 5 fingers. He have legs. He have a face. You have a shin. Cannot be a description of God. This is a God. He mentioned his body parts. But here you ask yourself, you see the Muslim, they rejected Jesus, for he come in the flesh of a man. He have a look of a man. He have hand. He have a shin. He have a foot. He have a face. Okay, they say to you, well, how God can be like that? But then we find that Allah is the same. And not only Allah is the same. Actually, according to Muhammad, Allah, he looked exactly like the Messiah. If we go here, you will see Muhammad is worried that the Muslims are going to think that the false Messiah will think that the false Messiah is the true Allah. And then he describe how the false Messiah looked like. All those hadith about the same story. And here Muhammad, he described, and as you see, this is Sahih hadith. Muhammad, he said to them, I have told you so much about the Dajjal that I am afraid that you may not understand that the Dajjal, not Antichrist, the Dajjal is the false Messiah. The Dajjal simply, the Dajjal word mean kadhab, a liar. So the Masih al-Dajjal is the false Messiah. Translation of Antichrist is false translation. Muslims do not have Antichrist. They have false Messiah. So this is a person, he will come and he will claim to be the false Messiah and he will do miracles. Muhammad is worried. I'm afraid that you may not understand that the false Messiah is short, hinted, woolly-haired, one-eyed, and eye-sightless, and neither protruding nor deep-seated. And if you are confused about him, know that your Lord is not one-eyed. What is that telling us? Muhammad is afraid that the Muslims, they will think that the false Messiah is Allah. But hold on. If Allah is not a man, why Muhammad is afraid that those Muslims, they will think Allah is the false Messiah? This guy is a man. And Muhammad, he did not deny that Allah have a physical look like a man. All what he said, that guy, he have a problem in the right eye. This is the only difference between Allah and the false Messiah. The rest is the same. So when those liars, they say to us nothing like Allah, look, this is your prophet, and is that a weak hadith? No. Bingo. So what is the only difference between the false Messiah and Allah? Look, one eye. The rest is the same. Are you going to say to me, I am fabricating the meaning? It's in front of you. Muhammad saying, you need to know, I'm afraid. I'm afraid what? You might not understand. I mean, look at this stupid prophet. He told them too much about the false Messiah. Okay, after too much, still you need to tell more. And you are worried more. That they will not understand and they will think that Allah is the Messiah. This hadith, to be accurate, it should say, you should know that the true Messiah look like this and the false Messiah look like that. Correct, guys? Because remember, this person is coming to claim to be the Messiah. So why Muhammad is worried about the Muslim thinking that this is Allah, unless the Messiah is, the true Messiah is the true God? This hadith obviously saying that the true Messiah is the true God and the false Messiah is a false God. So be careful, the true God look like the true Messiah and the true Messiah don't have a problem with his right eye. The false Messiah, who is not the true God, he look like this. Otherwise, I change a Muslim to tell me, what is the connection between Allah look and the false Messiah? Remembering that the false Messiah will say, I am the Messiah. He will not even say, I'm Allah. So when those guys, they try to avoid the question and they say to you, they can explain it, we laugh. Let us go back to the video so we can laugh more.
We're clear on the fact
Good.
that you're saying he's one in some sense.
No, I
But
didn't say
I
that.
do not agree that he's one in every sense if you are saying he has actual attributes. You use the analogy of a tree. A tree is composite. It has parts. It has branches. It has leaves. I grant that if something's cut off of the tree, it's no longer part of the tree.
Excellent.
But the tree is made up of parts. If that's what you mean by saying Allah is one, then you are saying that your God, who is one, in the sense that he's only one being, is a composite of parts. So he's not absolutely one.
Can I finish?
There is diversity in unity in your deity. Is that true?
No. Can I explain it now?
Go ahead.
All right. I give you the example of a tree, and as I said in the example, it's a worldly example to show you that something that is connected is one. When it breaks, it's no longer one, which we have agreed to now, right? You said that if it breaks away, it's no longer going to be part of the tree. Okay, I'm glad we agreed to that. When we talk about Allah, as I've said repeatedly, He is one, and He does not divide. Okay? This is unique to Allah. Allah is uniquely one. He is only one. His sifat do not make Him more than one. He is not divisible. He's not broken into parts. He is one. His sifat are part of that oneness. He is uniquely one.
Right.
See, I like David. David got
Yeah. All you're saying, though, is that he is a composite being that cannot be divided. The sifat cannot be separated from him. I'm granting that. You're still saying he's a composite being.
Okay.
There's no objection here yet. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Could I
do
just
you
offer
grant that?
clarification?
Sure.
Yeah, because
You grant that.
Yeah, what I'm hearing. So, if you, as you pointed out, a tree is one tree.
Okay.
A tree is one tree, but you could say the tree is one in the essence of being a tree or something like that.
Okay.
But it's more than one in cells or leaves or something like that. So it's a kind of unity and plurality or something like that. So I think all Anthony is saying is Allah like that, in that He's one in essence or nature or something like that, but more than one in attribute or
And I'm not objecting
something
to
like that.
I understand.
I'm not objecting.
yeah,
I'm just clarifying.
I'm
That's
going to
where we
listen
are.
first.
Yeah. So that's not an objection. So it's not like you need to think.
I'm just
I don't
listening.
think you'd be. I don't think you'd be dishonest. So that's not what I'm suggesting here. But that I don't think that you need to think. Okay, what is he after here? Like he's going after this. I'm not going after that. I don't think a lot of Muslims know that, and I think that's accurate. I think that Muslims believe in one being, but they do ascribe to him certain attributes, qualities, characteristics, all hearing, right, all seeing, those sorts of things. But that technically is not belief as you'd find in pagan philosophers in a monad, which is something that's devoid of any kind of attributes. It's an absolute unity.
Okay. So, first thing, I just wanted to understand what you're saying. If you're saying Allah has sifat, then no doubt we agree. And I have taught Aqidah, you can look at the lessons, it talks about it, right? Allah is all hearing, all seeing. But I think what the miscommunication we're having, and maybe we just kind of go past this, is thinking if somebody's
I want to stop here about Allah is all hearing, all seeing. Since when? Isn't it your God, He come every third part of the night so He can hear who is praying? And He come physically? Remember, He said Allah is all hearing, Allah is all seeing. But if Allah is all hearing and Allah is all seeing, here that means Muhammad is a liar. Read with me what Muhammad he said, and this is Sahih Muslim. Our Lord the Blessed, the Exalted, descend every night to the lowest heaven when 1/3 of the later part of the night left. And he says, who is supplicating me so that I may answer him? And who is asking me that I may give him? And who is ask forgiveness so I may forgive him? If Allah is all hearing, as this Abdul was trying to fraud an answer, to fabricate an answer, then why Allah, the poor Allah, have to come every third part of the night asking the same question? Who is asking me? Who is praying for him? Who's praying for me? Who is asking me for forgiveness? If Allah is all hearing, Allah, he can hear whatever his location is. Allah, he leave his throne or his chair, which is carried by 8 goats, which additional proof that he is physical. And even many books says that the goats or the angels could not carry Allah because he's so heavy. So Allah, he helped them when they carry him, which is very funny. I mean, is that the chair is so heavy or Allah? So Allah, he come down every 3rd part of the night. Is that because he is all hearing or because he have no good reception? Any Muslim? What is the reason? Okay, Sam, just please wait, my friend, because we need to finish getting busted. I will take you later. Forgive me, please. If Allah is all hearing, you guys, I am all hearing. And then you talk to me and say, huh? What are you saying? Huh? Okay, you are too far. Let me go down. And then I go down to the heaven number 6. And I say, like, what? What you saying? Okay, hold on. I'm going to heaven number 5. And then, hello? What? You know what? I'm too far still. Let me go down one more. So Allah, he keep going one more, until he is in the lowest heaven. And the purpose to hear you. Guys, did I lose my connection? I think it's working, no? It's working fine from my side. So this is an answer for the lies when they say that Allah is all hearing, Allah is all seeing. For obviously Allah, he don't hear, and Allah, he do not know, and Allah, he don't see. And if I'm wrong, refute your prophet. And remember, this is Sahih Hadith. Don't play the game of weak and the weak argument of weak Hadith, which means we Muslims, we fabricate stories about the prophet and we say what he did not say, which means we Muslims are not trustworthy, which means we Muslims are not decent, which means we Muslims, we write stories about the prophet which is not true, which means we Muslims cannot be the people who can give you an answer about Islam because we fabricate stories. This is what they meant when they say a hadith is weak. They are saying to you that we Muslims are not trustworthy because those who wrote the hadith are Muslims, those who collected are Muslims, those who reported are Muslims, and those who taught it are Muslims. And yet they come to us and says this is not true story. And it was true always for centuries. But today it's embarrassing. The internet is making revolution. So when this kid, he says Allah is all hearing, well, I say to you, if Allah is all hearing, he will not change his location. And not to forget to mention that as you see here, Allah, he go inside his creation. Allah go where? Inside his creation. So how Allah, nothing like him, and he is so big, and the throne of Allah is in the size of the earth and the heaven, and then Allah is going inside his heaven. That means Allah shrink. If the throne of Allah alone is in the size of the earth and the heaven together, then we find that Allah is going inside the heaven, which is smaller than his chair. In order for Allah to go inside that heaven, he have to change his size, and he shrink himself. So we can say Allah the shrink, or the shrinked Allah. That is the truth. So when they lie, they say Allah is all hearing. We laugh. Allah is all hearing, but he did not hear the prayer of Muhammad. Allah is all knowing, but he think that the baby is the sperm coming from the ribs of the women. And men have a sperm coming from their backbone. Allah is all-knowing, but he do not remember which one he created first, the mountains or the stars. So one verse says the mountain first, the other verse says the stars. So when those kids, they say Allah is all-knowing, we laugh. And we prove it with reference, not with speeches. Notice here, until now, this kid, he did not even show us one reference of what he is talking about. Isn't it weird? All of this is just a talk. He said, she said, I say, listen to me, let me answer you. But he did not quote one single proof and statement of what he said. Yet we are the one who is shown in the screen, not one, not two, not a three. Every few seconds he says something, we get him busted with reference, not with a speech. Continue, Abdul.
It's all hearing and all seeing and all knowing that can somehow make them components that could be taken apart or not a whole as one. I don't think having the ability to hear everything and see everything makes Allah, where Allah is not wholly one. Okay, so, but anyway.
So let me,
go ahead.
Can I ask? So, but you would say that his hearing is not his seeing.
Yes.
Right. So these are distinct attributes. So we are talking
of one Allah.
Right. So Allah's
And
one, but he has these attributes.
And these attributes don't leave him.
Okay. Now that's where I'd like to go after that.
Okay. So I mean, you asked me about Islamic Aqidah,
Right.
right? In Islamic Aqidah, Allah, His attributes are His. He can I finish?
Yeah.
Man, you are. You drank a lot of coffee this morning or something, man?
No.
Yesterday we were talking to Hebrew Israelites and it turned into a
My friend, Allah attribute is His. Look at the genius. Allah attribute is His. So, you just said Allah attributes. So I have a news for you, Anthony Roger. Allah attribute is His. What the heck is that? What kind of conversation this conversation is? My attribute is mine too. That's why it says mine attribute. Stupidity is amazing.
shouting match.
I'll tell you
So
what.
his aggression's a little
Okay.
amped up.
So hold on, Anthony. You're not talking to Hebrew Israelites. Your aggression needs to get toned down.
That's not
All right?
aggression. You're just taking
Look,
too much offense.
your friend that's with you just called it aggression.
Yeah.
So don't tell me.
He was talking to Hebrew Israelites last night.
You guys video this, right? David is telling you it's aggression, so please tone it down, Anthony. From your friend.
He's helping.
Your friend is telling you calm down. Why don't you listen to your...
Look, this is now, just change the topic and, you know, go around it, and no reference and no teaching. It just has speeches, and now that you have aggression as if the guy is grabbing him from his neck.
friend that came with you.
You look like you're ready to jump over the table, man. Come on.
Right? I like David. David, yeah. I don't know. How come we haven't met earlier, man? Anthony, I can tell you were a crook. Right.
I can tell you were a shooter.
Oh yeah, still am. Let's go.
You're crook.
So that's what they called you, right? Go ahead. What?
Mr. Hammer Time, you two keep bumping fists over here. I'm just.
We can bump fists.
No.
I got you, bro. Don't feel offended. All right.
It's going well.
So do you remember where we're at?
Yes, I.
Did he call Anthony Roger bro? Did he call him bro? Can you believe how hypocrite those are? Isn't it Islam forbid you from calling the Christians and the Jews brothers and even as a friends? And you are calling a Christian person who not only don't believe in Allah, but he believe that Muhammad is a false prophet and he make videos about him, and you call him bro. Is this your Quran saying take not Christians and Jews as your friends? And he says that the one who take them as a friend, he is one of them. So not only you are taking him as a friend now, you are taking him as a bro. I want to know what kind of a hypocrite you are. I mean, I don't know how to answer you, man. I mean, every few seconds you say something, you make poo-poo. How I'm going to finish this video? You are calling Anthony Roger, bro. Hey Muslims, this Shaykh is the brother of Anthony Roger, and he is the one who teach you Aqidah, the knowledge about faith. Is that a taqiyya in the street of America? Or you mean it? We challenge him if he ever dare to make a video to respond to me to say how he can call him bro. Or he will say, I don't mean it. We lie always to Christians. We will never take Christians as brothers. Actually, the Quran forbid the Muslims even to call those who they are own brother, own father, as family, or to love them. The Quran says you will not find one, just one, in chapter 58, verse number 22, from those who love Allah or those who believe in Allah. Make a friendship with those who oppose Allah and His Messenger, even though they are their own father or sons or brothers. Do you see it? So which Quran this person he practice? Oh, I am in America now, and I have to act like a hippie, and I claim that we are people who believe in peace, and you are my brother. But as you see, this is totally against the Quran. So how somebody is defending the Quran, he don't want to follow the Quran, and he called Anthony Roger, who made tons of videos against Islam, bro. Hey, bro. What a hypocrite. Let us continue. It's already 1 o'clock here, but we will continue. It's okay to finish it. I didn't know I was going to finish when then. Okay, continue. Bro. Bro. Okay.
You guys video this, right? David is telling you it's aggression, so please tone it down, Anthony. From your friend. Your friend is telling you calm down. Why don't you listen to your friend that came with you?
You look like you're ready to jump over the table, man.
Right? I like David. David, how come we haven't met earlier, man? Anthony, I can tell you were a crook. Right.
I can tell you were a shooter.
Oh yeah, still am. Let's go.
You're crook.
So, that's what they called you, right? Go ahead, what?
Mr. Hammer Time, you two keep bumping fists over here. I'm just...
We can bump fists.
No.
I got you, bro. Don't feel offended. All right.
It's going well.
So do you remember where we're at?
Yes, I do. Don't worry. Okay, so the understanding that you are bringing is not where I'm at, but we're going to put that to a side and just go to, let me finish. Again, man, this guy.
My finger up.
I got
saying
you.
what
Okay.
understanding?
Let me give it to you. Let me tell you. Let me speak and you'll know what I mean.
Okay.
When you say something is one and you say they're compartmentalized, they're taken of parts, right? It comes to an understanding, something that becomes like Legos, right? Something that can come apart and put back together, right? Allah is one. His characteristics are with Him, always been with Him, always will be with Him. He can reveal, oh, you're smiling already, look at that, right? He can reveal a part of His kalam, for example, the Quran, but the Quran is always with Him. You understand?
Now look, he just mentioned the word kalam. Take a note. He just said the word kalam. Muslims, take a note.
Like, if you take what's written, that is not the part of the kalam. That can be burnt, that can be written. Somebody could eat it, somebody could do something weird, right? But the kalam of Allah is always with Him. Always will be, not created. Okay? None of Allah's sifat are makhluk. You know what makhluk is? Creation.
Yes.
Creation.
Hold on. He just said the Quran is not created. Is the Quran from the sifat of Allah? Look at this stupid idiot. He just put himself in the trap. You see, until now they did not mention the word Quran. He is the one who put it there. He just said that the description of Allah is not created. And then he mentioned that the Quran, the Kalam of Allah, the word of Allah, is not created. Okay, hold on. So, if the Quran never been created, that means the Quran was exist by itself. And if the Quran is holy, and Allah is holy, now we have two holy. Listen carefully, Muhammadan. The word of Allah is not created. He just said that. This guy, this is why I say to Anthony Roger, please next time let him do poo-poo. The more they talk, the more they do mistakes and they expose themselves. Don't interrupt them, my friend. What you said about the word of Allah?
Parts, right? It comes to an understanding, something that becomes like Legos, right? Something that can come apart and put back together.
Look at this guy here. He is saying to me, stupid idiot, way to be Christian. My friend, I can say to you, stupid idiot, when you are. That make me a true Christian. Because a true Christian is the one who describe you as you is, not the one who say to you, you are smart when you are a donkey. As long you complain about the word idiot, what about your prophet? He say in the Quran that the Christians are equal to animals, and we are filthy najis, dirty, and we are kuffar, and we are the worst of animals. So you are sensitive with the word stupid idiot? And look how good what you said, way to be Christian. So you are saying to me that it's not the way Christian they talk by saying stupid idiot. The way is not to say that, but the Prophet of Allah is saying to people, go and bite the penis of your father or go and lick the clitoris of the lad is the way to be a Muslim. Takbir. You got yourself busted. You are saying from your own statement that the Christians should be high in moral and the way they speak because they are following Jesus. But if we follow Muhammad, we say to the person in front of us, go and bite the penis of your father. And that will make me a good Muslim. Way to be Christian. What a potato. Remember, you are talking to Christian Prince. And by the way, I like this moon next to your name. Look at the moon, brother. I mean the moon wherever we go. And then when you say to them, Allah is the moon God, they say, where's the proof? Like what? What is the proof that Allah is the moon God? What is this hat in the top of your head? It's the moon. What kind of moon? The crescent moon. And why you put it in the top of your head? It's a decoration. What? And this is what I mean when I say stupidity is amazing. They get offended so easy, brother. They are very sensitive. But calling the Hindus, infidels, the Christians, the Jews, filthy, kuffar, najis, it's okay. But say it's stupid, idiot, they get so upset. Disgusting you are. Continue, Abdul.
Right? Allah is one. His characteristics are with him, always been with him, always will be with him. He can reveal, oh, you're smiling already, look at that, right? He can reveal a part of his kalam, for example, the Quran, but the Quran is always with him. You understand? Like, if you take what's written, that is not the part of the kalam. That can be burnt, that can be written. Somebody could eat it, somebody could do something weird, right? But the kalam of Allah is always with him, always will be, not created. Okay? None of Allah's sifat are makhluk. You know what makhluk is?
The Quran is always with him, but never created. So Allah and the Quran are friends. They are two individuals. Allah isn't created, the Quran isn't created. The Quran was always with Allah. But that means that Allah was always with the Quran. And they are equal. Because you just said that the source of the Quran is not from Allah, for it is not Allah who created the word. So Allah is using a word is made by somebody, or as long as you are saying it's not created, that means the Quran is individual who is God, he is divine, he is exist, have no beginning, have no end, and he is exist always with Allah. Have you ever heard of a stupid religion like this? If the Quran, the funny they say the Quran is the word of Allah. How do you say it is the word of Allah if Allah did not create the word of Allah? I mean, who is the stupid here? Or maybe you Muslims, you believe in the belief of the Christians, that in the beginning it was the word, and the word was with God, and the word is the God. Ah, that makes sense now. So the word was with Allah, but the word in Islam is not Allah. So in Christianity it makes sense, because God and his word is one. Here, Allah and his word are not one, and the word of Allah is not coming from Allah. So it's coming from where? eBay? Ibu? Imumu? Any Muslim can tell us where the Quran is coming from? Because remember, it's not created. That means there's no beginning. The same exactly as Allah. I remember the Muslim, they say to us, Allah, he don't share his description with any, but he just did. Because Quran is not created. And Allah is not created supposedly. So now we have two uncreated living thing. Continue, Abdul.
Creation. Yes. Creation. All right. So this is just the understanding we want to have as a base. Now, my question to you guys, if you don't mind, is: do you believe God is one in the sense that He can become two and come back together, and would He still be the same?
So this is why I do this. This is why I clarify this.
All right. Good.
You have described Allah as one, although that does not preclude that he has sifat, attributes.
Which would not take away.
Christians have classically made the same claim.
Okay.
Okay. I don't think a lot of Muslims know that this is the Christian view. So that, for example, at least with respect to the attributes of God, I mean, I think we go a bit further though. But when it comes to the persons of the Trinity, your description of attributes,
come.
Your description of sifat.
Come, man. You look like you're bored, man. Come here. You're looking around, looking at.
Your description of sifat.
You got three guys.
Assuming I'm understanding you. Correctly, and I'm granting there's a possibility there's a.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I know, he's pointing for the camera.
There's not three of you here? Can you not count?
Okay.
Or is it one of you guys?
Let's talk here.
I'm trying to understand. Go ahead.
So when Christians speak of God as triune,
Okay.
we don't think of the persons as divisible.
Okay.
There's a hypostatic distinction. Now, if you're familiar with Islamic kalam, you know that when Muslims classically have spoken of Allah's attributes, they've referred to them as hypostasis. They've given them hypostatic status. That's all Christians have ever said when it comes to the persons of the Trinity. So that for Christians, the persons of the Trinity are not divisible. We don't believe in multiple gods. We're not polytheists.
Okay.
We believe that all persons of the Trinity co-inhere in the one divine essence, just like you would say that multiple attributes co-inhere in one being. Now, I do think, though, there's a fundamental distinction between the Christian view and the Muslim view, which is there does seem to me, in some Islamic thought at least, and you could tell me this is not your view, there seems to be a radical bifurcation between Allah and His attributes. So, for example, I'll just give you an example, and you can tell me what you think of that. Some Muslims I talk to will tell me that Allah Himself cannot be present in His creation, but His attributes can. The attribute of seeing, for example. So that's just.
Let me. Do you want me to answer you?
Yes.
See how
that's where we're at, and that's where.
Do you see how I respectfully, even though I had a lot to say, I just stayed quiet and listened to you? Did you see that?
Yeah, we're past that. Come on.
We're not because. Okay. So, first thing, you're delving in kalam to me is useless, right? Because I don't believe in ilm al-kalam. Okay.
But I'm saying I thought that was your view, and you could correct me if that's not your view.
I do not believe in ilm al-kalam, so obviously that's not my view.
But I'm just using kalam in the sense of theology, like a key.
Do you know what kalam is?
Yeah.
What is kalam?
Well, it's philosophy, but
No, it's not.
but
That's falsafa.
well, but it's.
So you don't know what
it's
kalam
the same
is.
idea.
Let me show you that how he is a certified idiot. Guys, he is saying he don't believe in ilm al-kalam. Now, Anthony, he don't speak Arabic. He is not an Arab. You know, it's not a secret. But now this guy, he want to show them, he changed the topic to make it about Arabic, and you do not know. This is like what Mimi Hijab, he said to David Wood. I know this is coming. You don't know Arabic, and you don't know Hebrew. And Elijah Amin is God with us. So he just said to him, do you know what ilm al-kalam, which means the science of kalam? We will talk about this. Anthony Roger, who is not a Muslim, he says philosophy. The guy, he said, no, it's not, you do not know. If I search in 2 seconds in YouTube, I will find you how the Muslims, they agree that it is nothing but philosophy, and this guy is a certified donkey. Let me search. I mean, how in the world this guy, even he called himself a sheikh. Here we go. We just found a video. And this is a sheikh, not like you. This is a very well-known sheikh in Saudi Arabia. His name is Salim al-Tawil. They ask him, what about al-kalam, ilm al-kalam? What he said.
علم الكلام اللي حكم فيه البخاري بأن يجلد الذي يشتغل بعلم الكلام ويترك ايش الكتاب والسنة. علم الكلام مقدمات فلسفية.
Did you hear it? Even in Arabic he says falsafa, falsafiyya. Did you hear it? He said it's nothing but philosophy. When Anthony Roger, he said to him it's philosophy, he laughed at him. He says, no, it's not. You do not know. You don't know. You don't know. So this guy is the one who knows. When the truth is that Anthony Roger was right and you are a certified idiot. They love to show off, but they don't love to share the truth. Let us hear it again, saying to Anthony Roger that the science of kalam, which is speeches, which is philosophy, is not philosophy. You are wrong.
One being. Now, I do think, though, there's a fundamental distinction between the Christian view and the Muslim view, which is there does seem to me, in some Islamic thought at least, and you could tell me this is not your view, there seems to be a radical bifurcation between Allah and His attributes. So, for example, I'll just give you an example, and you can tell me what you think of that. Some Muslims I talk to will tell me that Allah Himself cannot be present in His creation, but His attributes can. The attribute of seeing, for example. So that's just.
Let me. Do you want me to answer you?
Yes.
See how
that's where we're at, and that's where.
Do you see how I respectfully, even though I had a lot to say, I just stayed quiet and
It's
listened
very
to you?
respectful.
Did you see that?
Yeah, we're past that. Come on.
We're not because. Okay. So, first thing, you're delving in kalam to me is useless, right? Because I don't believe in ilm al-kalam. Okay.
But I'm saying I thought that was your view, and you could correct me if that's not your view.
I do not believe in ilm al-kalam, so obviously that's not my view.
But I'm just using kalam in the sense of theology, like a key.
Do you know what kalam is?
Yeah.
What is kalam?
Well, it's philosophy, but.
No, it's not.
But
That's falsafa.
Well, but it's.
So you don't know what
it's
kalam
the
is.
same idea.
It is not.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
What is kalam?
Go ahead.
Listen, Anthony, what is kalam? Because you brought it up, but obviously you don't understand.
In fact, it is you who brought it up, you idiot. It's not him who mentioned the kalam, it is you. And now he will stuck with this topic to avoid talking about the real topic. Suddenly the topic is, what is the science of talk? What is this? Well, the guy is not a sheikh, you are the sheikh. And what does this have to do with the topic, if Allah is one or many? And he said it's not philosophy, when every sheikh in the world, he agree that ilm al-kalam is nothing but philosophy and logic. Now, if you ask him, can you give us a definition? He will not. You see, until now, this guy, he's making speeches. He never quote a verse. He never quote a hadith. He never quote a statement. He never quote a scholar. It's just two people standing, and there's a table between them. Every one of them is giving his thought. I see there's something wrong in this conversation. From the side of the Christian and the side of the Muslims. Why the Christian don't get him busted right away and says, your prophet says this? And instead of says, talking like nothing. I mean, just we are talking. Why the Muslim, he don't get the Christian busted too and say, hey, let me quote for you what the prophet said? This guy, he have no answer. And he's afraid to quote his prophet because it's going to be used against him. For his prophet is on our side, not in their side. That's why I say in any debate I will have with a Muslim, I will win. Why? Because Muhammad is with me. He is not with them. Muhammad is against Islam. Muhammad, he will get them busted. Muhammad will humiliate them. Muhammad, he will make fun of them. Muhammad, he will make a drop big poo-poo in the top of their head if they mention his name. This is why this guy, he's saying nothing about Muhammad. And yet supposedly this tent is about Allah and Muhammad. And when he described Allah, he mentioned one statement, that one only statement from the Quran says, Allah is nothing like him. That's it. All this conversation, nothing like Allah. This is the only proof you have? I remember this statement is given by Muhammad about his God, which is, there's no guarantee that even Muhammad, he have a God. And this is a statement taken from the Old Testament where it says nothing like the Lord. So even this statement is not yours. So now, are we going to come to any conclusion in such a funny argument, which is there is no argument in the argument? Listen. And do you know what al-kalam? Anthony Rogers says philosophy. The guy, he says no. And he laughed at him. When the biggest sheikhs of Islam, and look how peaceful they are, you can tell, man. They say clearly that ilm al-kalam is nothing but philosophy.
اترك ايش الكتاب والسنة. علم الكلام مقدمات فلسفية زعموا انها عقلانية.
It's a philosophy and using your brain and logic. And actually this is what this guy was doing supposedly. It is philosophy. Allah apart, they are one together, you know, Allah is have description. This is just philosophy. So he denied that he believed in ilm al-kalam, but when he, in reality, he practiced it. Until now he did nothing except practicing of ilm al-kalam, because according to the Muslim Sunni, they refuse ilm al-kalam, which is using the brain. This is what al-kalam mean. Logic and brain and philosophy. And they take only the evidence, which is the Quran and the Hadith. This guy, all his speech is the opposite. He did not give any evidence. He was just using his own philosophy about how Allah is described, how Allah look like. Allah is like a tree. And then when he mentioned that Allah is like tree, he regrets saying that. And he says, I don't mean that Allah is like a tree. But the fact, even the Quran describe Allah like a tree. Are you an idiot or what? Isn't it the Quran says that the similarity of Allah is the same as a tree? What's wrong with those people? Allah, he described himself in the Quran that he is the same as a tree, and he is even liking himself like a candle from an olive oil tree. And remember, there's nothing like Allah. And then Allah, he described himself as a tree. Allah, the light of the heaven and the earth, the purple of his light is as if there's a niche, and within it there is a lamp, and the lamp is in a glass, and the glass were a brilliant star, light from the blessed tree, an olive neither of the east, neither of the west. The light of Allah is the same as light in a lamp, lighting itself from olive tree. So Allah is the same as olive tree. But remember, they say to us, Allah not like anything. But here Allah is describing himself and describing how his light function. It's a burning light, not metaphorical. It light from oil, olive oil, which means need a fuel. And it is in a niche, which means it's not enough by itself to be shiny, so we need to put it inside the lamp to make it more glorifying or more shiny. The light by itself is not good. You see, when you put, why you need to put, let us say, the word lamp, because that will make the light spread better, glow better. Allah is saying himself that his light is the same as a lamp in a glass, and the glass as were in a brilliant star, light from blessed tree, an olive neither of the east, neither of the west. But nothing like Allah. But yet Allah is the same as a light lighting from olive tree. So this is why we laugh when I was laughing really when he says, let me give you an example as a tree. Even Allah is not like a tree, but no, Allah is like a tree, and Allah, he chose to be the same as a tree in the Quran. And you are an ignorant. When you said, this is just an example. So if we go now to the video again, and I don't know when I'm going to finish this video, because each time this guy he talk, we laugh and we have to make a comment.
Understand what kalam is.
What is kalam? I'm just using it in the sense of people.
I understand you're using it.
Of Islamic Aqidah and coming to certain conclusions. I know that your methodology would be Quran and Sunnah. That's how you derived your Aqidah.
Anthony, you brought up kalam. I'm just asking you what is.
Here we go. He's stuck now. I'm asking you what is kalam. That's it. He is the genius who knows what kalam. He got his chance now to school this guy, the American, who do not know what kalam. And we got you busted. He was right and you were wrong. I'm not going to waste more time in this because now they will spend like almost 5 minutes talking about what is kalam. So I'm going to move a little bit in this video to where it's getting more excited. Let us see. Oh, actually, there is something here, maybe.
Correct?
No, but let me explain it.
He is trying to. Well, I know that you guys would say the original Al-Ashari. So let me ask this.
Go ahead.
I think maybe you would hold the position that Al-Ashari originally held more of a Hanbali-like approach, and then people later said something else.
Now let me explain this. Hanbali, if you're talking about the madhab in fiqh.
Yeah. But I'm thinking of their Aqidah.
Okay, so then you're talking about the Athari, Hanbali Aqidah, right?
Yes.
So that was the original Aqidah from the time of the Prophet ﷺ, and that's what I follow today.
Take a note, he just said he followed the Hanbali, as an example. Take a note. He followed what? He mentioned a bunch of sect and he says he accepts this is what is coming from the time of the Prophet Muhammad. And he is a Hanbali. And this is in the minute 21:43 in this video. Okay. You are a Hanbali. I can tell, because Hanbal is an idiot, and we will show in a few minutes how stupid he is. Then we move a little bit, because now they will talk about what kalam and ilm al-kalam, when we got him busted already with that. Let us go here.
We don't mean that he is the things that are here. He is present, upholding everything. Everything is upheld by his power, so nothing could be apart from him. It exists by virtue of him. When the Son of God takes on a human nature, it's not the Son of God now entering creation for the first time. He's already present. God is omnipresent classically, according to Judaism and Christianity. The Son of God is now taking into union with himself a human nature, and by virtue of that is being born. It's not his divine nature, it's not coming into being, it's not starting to exist at that point, it's not in some sense now becoming present, whereas before it wasn't. Does that address what you were asking?
No, not at all.
So then what were you asking?
Okay, so my question very simply, was Jesus born from Mary's womb? That was the simple question.
Yes, well that's the answer is yes.
Okay, that's the answer, yes.
Yes.
Okay, so let me understand this now, a deeper understanding. God, who is not separable, so he is still God, was in this belly of a woman and came out of the womb of a woman. God did.
God took on a human nature and it was really born.
So your belief is that that one great creator came out of the womb, the vagina of a woman.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Just to show you Muslims how stupid what he just said. He just said, are you saying to me that God is coming out of a vagina? This is what he said. I want to say to you the same. Isn't it your God who put his mouth in the vagina of Mary, and the Quran says, and we breathe into it? If coming out of the vagina will be an insult to God, that means God is not holy, for anything can make him dirty. So if you mean the vagina is dirty, that means your Prophet Muhammad is dirty too, for he himself, he came from a vagina. And then he recited the Quran, which means the Quran coming from a mouth, and the mouth was in the vagina. So this is the mouth of the vagina was talking. His name is Muhammad, and now he is reciting Quran. So are you saying to me that the word of Allah was in the mouth of Muhammad, which was inside the vagina of his mother? They try to make Jesus look down by saying he is born of a vagina. But my friend, if God is holy, he is always holy. So what you are saying to me, that your God in Islam, he cannot be holy if we make him come through a vagina. He got dirty, he need a shower. For he is not God. But for the true God, he is always holy. And this is again a contradiction for his stupid prophet. Because let us show you what the Quran say. He said, okay, are you saying your holy God, the creator, he came out of a vagina? They said to him, yes. He said, okay, thank you, I got you busted. Okay, thank you. You stupid. If this is not good, so why your stupid Quran called Jesus holy? And he is the one is born of a vagina. Are you saying that holiness can come out of a vagina, Abdul? Do you see how silly they are? But their question is a great example for the Christians to show you how they try to run away from a clear answer. And actually here we can go to a different topic. Is God is always holy or not? What he just said is against his religion, not against us. For God is always holy, doesn't matter where he is. You see, the light of the sun, and this is the sun created by God. When the light of the sun touched the water which is dirty, full of bacteria, Or let us give a better example. Muhammad is taking a shower with dead dogs. And women blood from period. And stinky garbage, as the hadith, as you see, it says in the front of us. Muslims, your prophet says that water is always pure and nothing make it impure. And remember, in the hadith here it says that there is menstrual clothing and women blood from their menstruation. So the blood of women was touching your prophet all over. And in the top of that, your prophet was washing with it. And the top of that, your prophet claimed that water is always pure and nothing made it impure, even the blood of the women. And if the man or the woman is 90% of it, or maybe 95% of it is a water, then the water is always pure. And in the same time, how come the Muslims, they got disgusted because the idea that Jesus is born of Mary, and the Quran described Mary as a pure woman, and the Quran described Jesus as a pure person, and he is holy, chapter 19 verse 19. In the top of that, as the Quran and Muhammad describe that the blood of women will not make you dirty, and those are blood coming specifically from the vagina. It's not coming from the nose of the women. Here you see the hypocrisy and the double standard. Now, our point of view as a Christians, that God is always holy, so it doesn't matter where he's coming to or going from, for holy is holy. If God cannot be holy for changing location, that means he is not God. And this is what he just admitted, that his God, if he come from a vagina, he will not be God. So the God of Islam is not God always, is God only if he is in heaven. But if he is coming from a vagina, he is not God. At the same time, the Quran says that Allah, he breathed into her vagina. Now the Muslims, they try to explain to you, they say, no, it doesn't say vagina, it says her sleeves. Allah is the sleeve breathing? Hey Mary, give me your sleeve. I'm going to breathe into your sleeves. The verse, it says it clearly. We breathe into her vagina. And the word there is vagina. And in the translation, look what they do. It says breathe into her body. You know what? Let us go with this lie. Breathe into her body, not vagina. So if God is God, why God is a breathing anyway? Any Muslim? You see, they keep saying to us, Allah is not like anything. Okay, we got that. Allah is not like a human, he is not a man, so he don't do what man do. But here we see that Allah, he breathed like every person who he breathed, and now Allah, he breathed into the body of Mary, and then that's mean that Allah, he put his mouth somewhere in her body and he breathed. So is Allah touching something not holy, and that will make him unholy? And the verse says it clearly, her vagina. Change the translator, you will see how the translation changed. It's a miraculous. Look what it says here. Her body was a chaste. So why this guy is saying, so are you saying to me that God, the Quran confirmed that the body of Mary is pure? She's a special person. And this again is a false translation, because it doesn't say really what they are saying exactly in the translation. It says, and Mary, the daughter of Imran, and this is additional stupid Quran, saying that Mary, she is the daughter of Imran, which is Imran is the father of Moses and the father of Aaron. And because the stupid Muhammad, he thought that Mary, she is the sister of Aaron, he made a chapter saying that Mary, she is the daughter of Imran. Can you believe it? And when the Muslim, they try to defend, they say, oh, the Prophet, he did not really mean that she is his sister for real. But you idiot, don't you see? It says she is the daughter of Imran. It's too late. A Jewish man, he came to Aisha and he said, hey, Mary, Maryam, the mother of Jesus, is not the same Maryam, the sister of Aaron. And then they told Muhammad, and Muhammad wanted to fix it, but it's too late, because Muhammad, he have a chapter, it's called the chapter of Ali Imran. And actually, this is one of the chapters is going to come in the judgment day as a cloud. Ali Imran. Who is Imran? This is according to Muhammad, the father of Mary. And Muhammad here even mistaken, it's not Imran, it is Umran, Amram, sorry, which is according to the Bible. So even here, Muhammad the fool, he made Mary, if you go in the Old Testament, you will find that Aaron and Moses, they have a sister, her name is Maryam. And this is exactly what the word in the Quran says, Maryam, the same name. And Maryam is the sister of Aaron, and Maryam is the daughter of Imran, proving to us again that Muhammad is a fraud. But anyway, we don't want to change our topic. So Allah, he breathed into Mary private part, and Mary are pure women, and Jesus is a pure and he is holy. So how come suddenly, because Jesus is born of a woman, he cannot be God, when the Quran described that he is holy? Obviously those Abdul, and look at the translation, sometimes they say holy, sometimes they say faultless son, faultless. You just said that Jesus is sinless. I mean, you changed the word, but you made me laugh. Jesus is sinless. Jesus is sinless. And the Muslim who says Christian prince is coward, he will never show his face. My friend, the coward is your Allah, and let me show you that Allah, he said in the Quran, Allah will never show his face, he will never speak except from behind a veil. It is you Muslims who follow a God who never speak unless he is behind the curtain like a female. So if you are talking about a coward, you should ask your Allah, what kind of God who never speak unless he is behind the curtain? Chapter 42, verse number 51. And why you want to see my face? If you are a man, come to me. Let us see how brave you are. Let us see what you can do. What do you want to see my face? Coward, son of Muta. They try to change the topic to talk about my face. They are obsessed with my face. This is your God. It is not fitting for the man that Allah should speak to him except by inspiration or from behind a veil. Based on what you are saying, your God Allah is a woman and he is a coward. And not only that, if Allah can be hidden behind a veil, Allah cannot be God, because a curtain can hide Allah. It's just a curtain we got from Home Depot. We put the curtain, Allah, he stay behind, we cannot see him. So it is not fitting for a man to speak to Allah except by inspiration or behind a veil. Do you see it? They cannot refute me, they cannot debate me. They want to talk about my face. Your God Allah, he never show himself. He speak from behind a veil. By the way, hijab, you Muslim, you say hijab is the cover for the women. But the Quran says Allah speak from behind hijab. Is he a female? Huh? Shima Hali, she is saying Mark 12:29 is the most important one. Jesus answered, is this, hear, O Israel, your Lord God is one. Well, Jesus is quoting the Old Testament, and yes, we Christians believe that God is one. Do you? You Muslims don't have one God, and we are proving it every second. We just showed you that Allah, if you want to take a sex partner, he will take it from ourselves. That's what he said. So if Allah is one, he is going to have sex with who from ourselves? It is us who believe in one God, not you. You are not monotheist. You are a liar. You are people who associate stones with God. And actually, in this video, we will, if we can watch all of it, you will see they ask the guy, let us go there, about the Quran will come as a man. And here we ask ourselves, is Allah is one God? We heard this guy already in the video saying that the Quran is not created. So how Allah is one God, but there's two uncreated holy individuals? For sure they will change the topic. They will talk about the Trinity now. I challenge any Muslim to answer how this guy, he said the Quran is uncreated and Allah is uncreated. So we have two uncreated individuals. The Quran is not Allah and Allah is not the Quran. The Quran is not created, Allah is not created. The Quran is not created by Allah, neither created by anyone. So how you say we are people who believe in one God and now we have any created two holy individuals? Any Muslim? Listen carefully for this conversation.
Son of God, by virtue of becoming human and crying out to the Father, that there's a problem with that, a logical problem, and that's not something that Islam has to do with. Now, number one, I don't think that's a logical problem, but number two, I also don't think that's true Islamically. So I'd like you to tell me where I may have that wrong. I don't think I do, but I grant that you're the Imam, right? My understanding, which I have from other Muslims, which is part and parcel of why I hold that, and have read in the Islamic sources, that the Quran itself does intercede for Muslims, or will, on the Day of Judgment, right? The Quran will appear as a pale man and will say that he was the Muslim's companion in life and will intercede for him. Is that not correct?
Can you give me a reference for that?
That's in the Hadith.
Which Hadith?
Seriously, you don't...
Take a note. He just said, when he said to him the Quran will appear as a pale man, he said, can you give me a reference? And he shake his head as if he is wondering, as if he heard it for the first time. I mean, how you are saying, give me a reference, and now later you will say to them, you will say to him, well, you know, this is weak hadith. I mean, he just acted as if he never heard this before. And now he will say to him, well, this is weak hadith.
Correct.
Can you give me a reference for that?
That's in the Hadith.
Which Hadith?
Seriously, you don't think I'm going to go back? I mean, like, I don't know.
Are you saying that's not in the Hadith?
That is not in any authentic Hadith that I've ever read.
So you'd say it's not
Can I
authentic? Oh, that's fine. If you say it's not authentic.
This is not an authentic hadith he ever read. Do you remember what I said to you? Take a note that he said he is Hanbali. Do you remember? He said the original of Islam he believed in is like Hanbali. Do you remember? And this was in the minute 22.
And this is something that was brought on by the Asharis and the Maturidi and Ahlul Kalam. You know who those are? You know what Asharis are? Yes. Who started the Asharis? What's his name? Actually,
What's his name? I don't
What's
know.
his
I couldn't
name?
say his full name. You know, you guys have
Okay.
like mile-long names. Right?
No, Abu Hassan Ashari. It's pretty easy. It's not a mile long.
Well, it's his name is Al-Ashari.
Yeah, that's
And
a try.
And he was reacting against people like the Hanbalis, or allegedly. At least Athari Akida.
All right.
Am I correct?
No, but let me explain it.
He is trying to. Well, I know that you guys would say.
By the way, he's laughing at him, but Anthony was right, and the idiot, the donkey, he is wrong. You see, each time he laughs, because Anthony is saying the truth, and he laughs in order to make him look like they like to make a mockery. They have no decencies. And now listen what he would say.
Say the original Al-Ashari. So let me ask this.
Go ahead.
I think maybe you would hold the position that Al-Ashari originally held more of a Hanbali-like approach, and then people later said something else.
Now let me explain this. Hanbali, if you're talking about the madhab in fiqh,
Yeah. But I'm thinking of their Aqidah. More of
okay,
their
so then you're talking about the Athari Hanbali Aqidah,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So that was the original Aqidah from the time of the Prophet ﷺ, and that's what I follow today. Okay, so I don't follow ilm al-kalam at all. In Aqidah, I don't deal with it. When these Greek
authentic.
Hold on, take it easy. So, to say the Quran will appear as a pale man, and what did you say it would be with
The Quran will intercede for Muslims and will say that it
as a
was,
pale man?
well, that's in a Tirmidhi hadith, for example.
Let's look. I can look for it. Let's look for it. So, no, hold on. Because see, I like to discuss on evidences. So, can I find a hadith in a Tirmidhi that says the Quran will be a pale man?
Remember here, he is challenging them to show him the hadith. Can I find this hadith?
Let's just find that, and then I will explain from there.
Okay, so, but that kind of misses the point that I'm making. You're focused on the pale man part, but I think you and I both know that it's classically Islamic to say the Quran will intercede.
So let me explain the shifa of the Quran.
Yeah, explain that.
Excellent. The Quran is Kalamullah.
You said, told us that well.
How the Quran is the kalam of Allah and is not created by Allah? How you make it belong to Allah if it's not Allah who made it? I mean, do you see the stupidity? If I say the Quran is the word of Allah, and then I say that it's not created by Allah, so how it is the word of Allah? Stupidity is amazing. Okay, now we go back to zero. So the Quran will come as a man. The guy, he denied the hadith. He says, can you show me the reference? Claiming that he never heard of it. He want to see the reference. He want to see the evidence. Suddenly he want to talk about evidence. All the time he was just making a speech. Let me explain to you what it means that the Quran will intercede.
Okay. Take it easy. Okay. The Quran that is read by us, when we read the Quran, that Kalamullah will be an evidence for us. Do you understand what I mean? That the fact that we stayed up at night and read the Quran will make shifa. It will be an intercession. It will not be asking Allah for help or asking Allah separately than anything. It is only the fact that that good deed will be an intercession for you. Like if you had read the actual hadith, it talks about the Quran and another hadith about the siyam, the fasting. Right? We don't say fasting by itself is an entity, but it's the deed that is that intercedes for you.
So does the hadith say that the deed of reciting the Quran will intercede for you, or does the hadith say the Quran will intercede?
Again, so this is the thing. When you say Al-Quran was Siyam, these two will be shifa. They will be an intercession. Right? So what does that mean? That it is that deed of reading the Quran. You understand what that means now?
I understand what you're claiming. That's just not what the
So let's
hadith
see
says.
I searched for it. The first one that popped up, I know it's in Tirmidhi, but the first one that popped up was in Ibn Majah.
So in Tirmidhi, there is no such hadith that says the Quran.
There is. That's just the first one that popped up when I did.
Can we look at the Tirmidhi one first?
Okay, I'll send it.
I just
But
want to
notice, the Ibn Majah version says the Quran will.
Guys, notice he said there's no such a hadith in a Tirmidhi. Remember that this guy, he claimed to be a sheikh. Either he is a fake sheikh and he never heard about it before, or he is a fraud and a liar, because he just said in a Tirmidhi there's no such a thing. Listen carefully, I'm not the one saying that. There is no such a thing. So one of two options: either this guy is an ignorant, he do not know, and you have to accept to say, well, I was ignorant and I just learned this from Anthony Roger, who is a Christian, not a Muslim, and he's not a sheikh. A Christian is teaching a Muslim sheikh in his boost that in the Tirmidhi there's a hadith says Quran will come as a man interceding. He says where? There's no such a thing. So either he accepts that he is ignorant, certified idiot, claiming that if he grow a beard he have knowledge, or he is a certified liar. Choose one. Listen carefully.
I know it's in Tirmidhi, but the first one that popped up was in Ibn Majah.
So in Tirmidhi, there is no such hadith that says the Quran.
There is. That's just the first one that popped up when I did.
Can we look at the Tirmidhi one first?
Okay, I'll send it.
I just
But
want to
notice, the Ibn Majah version says the Quran will come on the day of resurrection like a pale man, and will say, "I am the one that kept you awake at night and made you thirsty during the day."
Excellent. So let's now go to. Hold on, take it easy.
You're trying to see this.
No, take it easy. This is why.
You're not seriously going to go to Google Translate, are you?
Nope.
Okay. I know you know Arabic. I know you know Arabic.
You don't have Arabic keyboard?
No.
I was just going to show you the takhrij. You know what takhrij is? Okay. The checking of the narration.
Okay.
This narration of Ibn Majah is a very weak narration.
They didn't grade it this week.
Can you show me their grading?
Yeah, it's in Hassan.
It's
in Arabic now.
You just ruined his phone. You can't see anything in English
he'll
now.
see. Where does it say Hassan? No, this is.
Oh, sorry guys, you were not hearing me, right? I have some difficulty here. I apologize. So he was saying that this is a weak hadith before even he knew the hadith. Remember, he said there's no such a hadith, which means he never saw it. He never heard of it. And he said, then when they showed him the hadith, they said it's weak. Actually, before they saw him the hadith, he said it's weak.
It's in Arabic now.
You just ruined his phone. You can't see anything in English
he'll
now.
Where does it say Hassan? No, this is Darus Salam's, right? So this is not Sunnah.com, just a website. Okay?
So Darus Salam.
Darus Salam is a publishing house, right? That's not the
Yeah,
grading.
but they gave the rating according to Hadith scholars, right? They're not just making it up.
No. So we need to. I know this hadith, and that's why I was telling you, right? And I can show you the weakness in it if you like. Darus Salam is a publishing house, not a scholar itself, right? Their grading by itself is not a hujjah. It's not.
Okay, let us go and get this guy busted. Remember, he said that he believed that the Hanbali are the right one. Didn't he say that? Hanbali? Well, this is the book of Ibn Hanbal. Musnad Ahmad ibn Hanbal. And this is the hadith in front of us. And here you ask yourself, if this hadith is rejected, how this guy is teaching them about Allah and about the Quran, saying that the Quran will come to you as a pale man. When those people, they say such a thing, read carefully. وإن القرآن يلقى صاحبه يوم القيامة حين ينشق عنه القبر أو قبره كالرجل الشاحب. This is the book of Ibn Hanbal, and he is using it to explain how the Quran will intercede. So how this coward, he says that he believed that the Hanbal is the true way of the Prophet, and this is Ibn Hanbal using the hadith to explain how the Quran will come and intercede. Remember, if this hadith is rejected or not valid, there's no way this guy will use it to explain. I mean, have you ever heard of a liar like this? So now if we click it, translate. Let us see if we can do Google translation. Let me copy the link first, and I will post it for you. And every Muslim can go there, and you will see that this is Musnad Ibn Hanbal, the one who he said, hadith number 22, hadith number, as you see on the screen, 22435. This is his master, who he belonged to his sect, as he claimed that Ibn Hanbal is the true way of Islam, saying that the Quran will come as a pale man and he will intercede for the person. The translation here is funny, but we can use Google translation separately, because I don't see a translation coming good here. I see hand or short lilas. What is that, man? But anyway, the Quran will come to you. I mean, translation is really coming horrible here. So let us do this. We will open Google translation. We will copy the sentence. We will use individual text translation. Google Translate. We will copy and post and paste in Google in front of your eyes. Google is smart. Could not recognize the Arabic language. Here we go. The Quran will meet his companion, or the man, in the day of resurrection in his grave, and he will come to him as a pale man. Pale man, you see it? And this is in the book of Musnad Ahmad ibn Hanbal, which he claimed that this is the true teaching of the Prophet of Allah. I mean, how we can explain the lies of those liars? Already you admitted that the Quran is not created. Already you admitted that the Quran was always with Allah. Already you admitted that the Quran exists by itself. And now you admitted that the Quran will intercede, but you are rejecting that he will come as a man. And when they show you the hadith, you say to us, it is da'if. Where is the reference? And why Ibn Hanbal is using it if it's a stupid hadith? Now, are we done? No. Let us get him more busted, and let me give you the link for the first one. This is the link for the first hadith to be posted for you. Oh, I did not post the link, sorry. This is the text. What a potato, man. What a coward. What a scam. Where is the link? All right, here we go. Let me pause the hadith for you. And actually, I have a different hadith from Ibn Hanbal too, and that one is even showing the grade of the hadith. Let us share that one. Hold on. Here we go. Let me put it on the screen. Let us get him more busted. This is Musnad Ibn Ahmad ibn Hanbal, and this is hadith number 22461. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يجيء القرآن يوم القيامة كالرجل الشاحب فيقول لصاحبه أنا الذي أسهرت ليلك وأظمأت هواجرك. The Quran will come in the judgment day as a pale man. Now what is the grade of this hadith? Hey Abdul, you claim that you speak Arabic. It says that a hadith like this is possible to be authentic and hasan. فَمِثْلُهُ يَحْتَمِلُ حَدِيثَهُ التَّحْسِينَ أَمَّا التَّصْحِيحَ فَهُوَ بَعِيد. And then I can explain to you here what it means فَهُوَ بَعِيد, because the Muslims, they say, oh, it's not authentic. It says that. It says it is hadith hasan and even possible to be authentic. And let us show you how we can prove that, because we are not done. This is the same hadith, and this is the official Islamic page in Facebook. As-Sunnah Nabawiyya wa Sahih al-Hadith. The authentic hadith. And here they are posting for you the Quran in both in English and in Arabic. And then they say here, the Rawi, the reporter of the hadith, is Abu Huraira. And this can be found in a silsila sahiha, which means the chain of authentic. Page number or hadith number 2829. And here it says the grade of this hadith is Hasan or Sahih. So choose one. Let us go down and read the translation made by Muslims in English. The Quran comes in the day of resurrection like a pale man, says to his owner, do you know me? I was the one who stayed up at the night and the light of your wages, even if he was a dealer behind his trade. I mean, you can read the rest of the hadith. And there here it says, the hadith like a pale man, his color is variable of his common body, whatever, etc. But here they are saying, the reporter is Abu Huraira. The source is the book of Al-Albani. And then the page number or the hadith number is 2829. And the rank is Hasan or Sahih. Is what? Is Hasan or Sahih. Not Da'if or Da'if as this guy. And this guy, he said, it's very weak. Not only he said it's weak, it's very, very, very weak. When Ibn Hanbal, he confirmed it. Al-Albani, he confirmed it. And remember, this is written in the book of Ibn Majah, and even at Tirmidhi, he mention something similar to this, that the Quran will come to you. And by the way, the Quran will come. How the Quran come? Unless he is an individual. The Quran will come to you. Translate to English. The Messenger of Allah said that in the day of resurrection, the Quran comes the same as a pale man. The rest of translation is funny. Are we done? No, we have even bigger surprise. This is the book of As-Silsila Sahiha by Al-Imam Al-Albani. This is the book name. This is the author name, very well-known funny scholar. Volume number 7. It says here, hadith number 2829, the Quran come as a pale man. What is the hadith? Sahihah. Sahih. Let me post the link for all of you so you can save it and get this guy busted. And let us use Google translation again. Remember, he said this is a very weak hadith. The Islamic scholar, they say this is very sahih hadith. Which one of them we should trust? Even the book name is the correct authentic hadith, which means everything there is correct. So it is sahih, hadith number 2829. The Quran will come in the day of resurrection as a pale man. But this potato in the video, he denied it, and he said this is a weak hadith, very weak hadith. Not only it's a weak. Here we ask ourselves a very simple question. Are we going to find one day a decent Muslim who is proud to be a Muslim? He is not ashamed of what his prophet said, so he tried to lie in order to hide it? If the Muslim scholars say it is strong, it is sahih, why this guy is denying it? This is a different website, Al-Maktaba Al-Shamila, Islamic Library, the book of the explanation of the book Al-Jami' لأحكام الصيام. From the greatest of hadith, which the Prophet, he said, is this one, that the Quran will come in the image or the shape of a pale man. This is not only a great hadith, is one of the greatest. Which Muslim we should believe? Click translate to English. One of the greatest hadith came in the authority of the Prophet, may Allah bless him. Like, what the heck? One, he is saying to us this is a fabricated hadith, and the other one saying to us this is one of the greatest. That the Quran will come in the judgment day like a man. Which one we should believe? Muslims, where is the dignity and where is the honesty? This is your Islamic books saying this is one of the greatest hadith. And remember, here we are using, Google translation, so it's not too much accurate, but it's fine. The Quran, he will come to him in the grave and he will take a form of a pale man. And this is what? This is one of the greatest hadith mentioned by the Prophet. But according to this Abdul, this is a very fake hadith. Brother, this is a very weak hadith. Are you kidding me? Okay, show me the reference. And then when they showed him the reference, it says this hadith is good.
It's in Arabic now.
You just ruined his phone. You can't see anything in English
he'll
now.
Where does it say Hasan? No, this is Darus Salam, right? So this is not Sunnah.com, just a website. Okay?
So Darus Salam.
Darus Salam is a publishing house, right? That's not the
Yeah,
grading.
but they give the rating according.
You see, we just showed you that Al-Albani is saying, actually, even we can show you Ibn Taymiyyah. This is a publisher. What the publisher is giving you the grade. Do you see the game? Okay, why the publisher, he will say it is good, and the Muslim don't make like a strike. Hey, you are lying, this is not good. And in the top of that, you Muslims, you publish it in your website and you say this is good. Guys, do you see the stupidity? So now he is saying, oh, this is a publisher. This is a publisher, brother. This is not. What do you think? Shall we go to Ibn Taymiyyah and then we will see what Ibn Taymiyyah he said? I mean, who is more higher Muslim, this potato or Ibn Taymiyyah? Well, here we go. This is Ibn Taymiyyah book. And this is the page number. And here Ibn Taymiyyah, which is called the Shaykh of Islam. Not this potato. This guy is the highest ever exist. He is refuting that the Quran is created. Did he say that this hadith is weak? No. Did he reject it? No. Did he accept it? Yes. It is in front of you. He is saying here, when the people who believe that the Quran is created, they were debating Imam Ahmad and others from the people of Sunnah that the Quran is created by using the statement of the Prophet. You see, he did not say using the fake statement of the Prophet. He says by using the statement and the saying of the Prophet. And what is the statement here? This is actually even other hadith, that the chapter of Al-Baqarah and the chapter of Ali Imran, they will come as two clouds or as two birds, and the whole Quran will come as an image of a pale man. Ibn Taymiyyah, he approved it. He did not say it is weak. He did not say it's fake. He did not say I don't accept it. And actually, I wish you guys you speak Arabic, because you will see the madness of this religion. How the Muslims are very much in war with each other about the words of Allah. But is Ibn Taymiyyah is a fraud? And let me post the link again, so those who want to check it out, they can check it out. It's very shameful that we cannot find one decent Muslims. He tell us his religion as it is. So we have to struggle with the ones who are playing games in order to put them in the corner. Here we go. This is the book of Ibn Taymiyyah in the front of your eyes. Ibn Taymiyyah, he accepted. And this is one, this is the highest, not only one. And we showed you Musnad Ibn Hanbal, and he is the guy, he says, yes, Ibn Hanbal is the way the Prophet was. When the fact, the one who mentioned this hadith is Ibn Hanbal. And the one who accepts this hadith is Ibn Hanbal. And he is the one who says, I accept the way of Ibn Hanbal. What do you think, Muslims? Anyone? Hold on, I just found another reference. إن القرآن يلقى صاحبه يوم القيامة حين ينشق عنه قبره كالرجل الشاحب. The same hadith. Do you see what it says here? رواه أحمد في المسند hadith number 394 and Ibn Majah في السنن hadith number 3781 وحسنه البويصري في الزوائد. It is Hassan according to al-Buwaysari, and it is Sahih in the Silsila Sahiha according to Al-Albani. Not one of them says this is false hadith. So all those scholars, starting from Ibn Hanbal, which he agreed that he follow him, they are saying this is approved. Where you have no shame, you'd say whatever you want. And let me post this link for you too. You see how many references we just gave? And you know, when somebody says to somebody, this is a weak hadith, shouldn't you give them the reference, get them busted right away? I mean, you are a sheikh, right? And you are standing there supposedly because you have a knowledge, and those guys, they just throw something at you, and they showed you that according to your website it says Hassan, which is good. And then what is the excuse? Oh, this is the publisher. But the publisher, he just published. Like I saw in the video, Sam Shamoun, he's saying, oh, those are the Salafi publisher. My friend Sam, this is not true. There's nothing is called Salafi publisher and not Salafi publisher. Either the hadith is true or not. Because Salafi publisher is more careful than any other one to say the grade if it's wrong. Because they will be eaten alive. So nobody will dare to say it is good unless it is good. Doesn't matter who is saying that. This publisher, they can close his company, the company for them, if they are saying something against Islam. You know that. But as you see, nobody oppose it. And where the publisher he got his information from? Ibn Hanbal himself, Ibn Taymiyyah himself, Al-Albani himself. Not this potato. It's very easy to deny it, but can you prove it? My experience with Muslims never change. Never change. Fatawi Ibn Taymiyyah. What Ibn Taymiyyah said? the Quran will come as a pale man. The book of Anwar al-Fajr في فضائل أهل البدر, volume number 2. This hadith is mentioned in the following: أخرجه البخاري ومسلم والترمذي, according to the title here. If we use Google translation, Prophet Google, peace upon him, this is Ibn Taymiyyah, the Shaykh of Islam, not this potato. This is the other book. So always you need to remember that when they deny it, it's mean there is something bad. And you know, like if I am there, like when Anthony is there, shouldn't he say to him, okay, why those people, they are saying it is Hassan? And can you show me the reference yourself? Isn't it him who asked you for reference? You showed him the hadith. Why you don't ask him? Say, okay, show me the reference. It says that this hadith is da'if. Remember, he said not only weak, he says this is very weak. Why you don't show us the reference? Based on which school? Isn't you who follow Ibn Hanbal? So this is why I ask the Christians always to listen to those liars carefully, because later you need their words to use it against them. Let them talk more and let us see more. When At-Tirmidhi, he asked about where in At-Tirmidhi, right? At-Tirmidhi says that the Quran will come as two clouds. What's the difference between coming as a man or a cloud? Nothing. Cloud is physical. The man is a physical. Cloud is a created. Man is a created. Are you getting my point? And both are agreed upon. Both are agreed upon. If we go here, and this is the scholar he agreed with, he said he believed in Ibn Hanbal. If I copy this and I go to the Muslim website, and remember this is Ibn Hanbal which he agreed with. Is the Quran created or not? They say no. Okay. He mentioned that the Quran about pale man is weak. Let us use this one. It's the same hadith, by the way. The same number as you see here. It's mentioned there the same, that the Quran will come as a man. But let us see. It says here that the Quran will come as a cloud or even as a bird, full of suf, wool, which is very weird. So now what we will do? This is Sahih Muslim. Is the Quran created? No. Is the Quran going to come in the day of resurrection as intercessor? And the Quran will come as two clouds or as two birds? Does it really make a difference if it's a man or it is a bird? And now what he will say? He will say this is weak. This is Sahih Muslim. And let me pause the hadith for you. So what we are arguing about? How the Quran is uncreated and the Quran unchangeable, and then the Quran is coming as a bird. Here they are translating that the word sawaf mean coming in ranks. Who care anyway? Hey Abdul, is this is Sahih Muslim? Is this is Da'if? Quran come as a bird? So this is what those people they do. They get excited when they see somebody don't speak Arabic. And actually all of them, they are avoiding me for very simple reason. I am an Arab and Arabic is my first language. So they cannot fool me and they cannot deny things. And actually even with Roger who don't speak Arabic, even Anthony Roger, he did a great job getting him busted. And now we have the Muslim website in front of us. Can you show me where in the Muslim website it says that this hadith is da'if? Nowhere. Look like this guy, he have his own books. And he have he is his own author. And all of this is for what? To cover up the stupidity of Muhammad and his religion. How there's one God, and then there's a book, and there is a Quran, and this Quran is written by Allah in a tablet, and this Quran is exist by itself. Actually, if you think for a second, if the Quran never been created, which means no point of start, just to show you the stupidity of this religion, and I have to use the word is stupidity because there's no more insult to be added to the injury. How the Quran is not created, but Allah here created a pen. The first thing Allah created, it was a pen. And then he told him to write the Quran. Like, hold on. I thought the Quran was exist always with Allah and have no end, have no beginning. But the first thing Allah created was a pen. So if the Quran was there, the pen was for what? They will say to you, oh, the pen was there to write the destiny. But isn't it the destiny is in the Quran? Isn't it the destiny is what Allah He said in the Quran? So until now Allah did not write the destiny yet? When I read this hadith actually, which is Sahih, where it says that the first thing Allah created, He created the pen and He said to the pen, write. I mean, how silly. This is the first creation. So what the chair of Allah was after? Allah was without a chair, standing. This is the beginning of everything. Allah, He says, okay, hey, I create pen. Hey, pen, write. This is voice dictation. And when the pen he start writing, did Allah tell him what to write? Or the pen, he have a brain of Allah included inside him? When Allah, He said to the pen, write, shouldn't the pen says to Allah, write what? Actually, He did. Read carefully. It says here, the first thing Allah created was the pen. He said to it, write. It asked who the pen, what I should write, O my Lord? He said, write what was decreed about everything till the last hour come. But hold on. How the pen he can write something he do not know? That's mean Allah, he start talking and talking and talking, writing the destiny of billions of a human being. And the pen is writing. In the same time, believing that decree or destiny is something written by a pen is more than stupid than the idea of the decree itself. Because if Allah, he made the a decree or a destiny is exist, writing it by the pen or not, that will not change anything. Secondly, I don't know if any of you notice something stupid there. Anyone can help me by reading the story? What is missing in this story? Let's see who of you will notice. And stop laughing at Allah, please, because you might wake up in the morning, you find yourself look like Allah. It happened to me once. I woke up, I look like Allah, I have a shin. Anyone notice what the story here missing? Okay, if Allah created the pen, shouldn't the stupid Allah created the book with it? Okay, I created the pen, and then I said to the pen, write. Okay, the pen, shouldn't he ask, write what, where? He will write where? I mean, what a stupidity. So the first thing, Allah is creating the pen, and then Allah right away he said to him, write. Shouldn't you create the book? A copybook? A paper? And do this pen have ink inside? But you need to clear the tablet, my friend. You see here, the first thing Allah created is the pen, and right away he told him write. It didn't say he created the pen and then he created the tablet and then he told him to write on the tablet. No, he created the pen and he said to him write right away. And if you ask yourself why Allah want to write your destiny by a pen, you see, I write because I have a short memory. I can forget. If you give me your phone number, after maybe 15 minutes, I will forget. Some people, they forget even by the time you end saying the number, they don't even remember anything. So Allah writing it for what reason? And if the Quran is exist without Allah, well, this is really crazy. Where is the Quran is coming from? Actually, there's a book, it's called, let me remember the name. I think it's called خلق الأفعال. Let me see, hold on. I mean, already we have too many reference, but let us show you more. Let us see. Yeah, the book is called خلق الأفعال أفعال العباد. Actually, we should make a special video or a study about this book. Let me drink something. My throat is dry. This book is extremely important, actually. Let me search for it and show you in the screen. Give me a second. Because that will show you everything can be considered stupid in this religion. Let us see. This is the book خلق أفعال العباد by Al-Bukhari. And Al-Bukhari, he speak about the same hadith we are talking about now. But the nice thing about this book, which is made by Al-Bukhari, which Muslims cannot run away from, the book is about that Allah, he created all your work, not you. All your act is created by Allah. All what you say. This is what the meaning of خلق أفعال العباد. And if Allah is the one who created all our act, then why somebody will go to hell and somebody will go to heaven if we are at the end of the day, all our act was made by Allah? How stupid this is, can be. This is the book. You can go to any Islamic website and you can download it or read it if you speak Arabic. But I don't think it exists in English, sadly. Otherwise, it can be very helpful to read it, for it's going to expose everything Islam stands for. And all this book is to prove to you that the word of Allah isn't created. All this book is to prove to us that the Quran is not created. And Al-Bukhari, he mentioned that story in his book too, as a Sahih Hadith. But remember, this is not a book of Hadith. This is a book to refute those who believe that the Quran is created or the word of Allah is created. This is the purpose of this book. But I'm very thankful that the Muslims, they come to a conclusion that the word of God is not created, because that will confirm that Jesus is God. The Bible says that the Word became a flesh. The Word became a flesh. Not the Word created. It is the Word who become a flesh, which means, the Bible explains in different places, for God, he humbled himself, he come in a shape or an image of a man. So when the Muslims, they fight desperately, saying the Quran and the word of Allah is not created, they hit their religion in the heart, because Allah is not the source of the word of God. And that is confirmed in their own books. And by the way, the one who says the Quran is created, he will be executed according to Islam, or the majority of Muslims, those Sunni. So the second you say that the Quran is created, it's the same second you are seeking your death. And there's many Muslims when slaughtered just for believing that the Quran is created. In Christianity, this is not a problem. Why? Because in Christianity we believe that God and his word is one. In Islam, this is a problem because God and his word is not one. And actually, saying the word of Allah is not accurate no more, because this word is not created by Allah. So how we can say it is the word of Allah? Are we following, people? How this can be the word of Allah if those words are not even coming from Allah? Okay, when the Muslims, they say the Quran is not created, not even by Allah. Okay, where the Quran is coming from? Any Muslim will volunteer? I'm going with you. The Quran is not created. As you see in front of you. So how you say the Quran is the word of Allah? You see, when I say the bicycle of a Christian prince, that means Christian prince, he owned the bicycle. If he did not make it, he bought it. If I say American car, that means the American made it. So when you Muslim, you say the word of Allah, and then you say that the word of Allah is not created by Allah. So how and what make it the word of Allah? Islam is exist as long as you don't ask tough questions. Like, brother, pray to Allah 5 times a day, shave your private part, brother, and be careful when you drink ice cream, so it's going to be halal, and avoid pork, brother, but don't worry about camel urine, drink it, it's healthy. This is Islam. The second you start asking serious questions, Islam is gone. And this is all happening because of the foolishness of the man. His name is Muhammad. Do we have any Muslim in the chat? He have something to say? Quran is the word of Allah, and it's not created of Allah by Allah. So how it is the word of Allah? I mean, who is the crazy here? What's wrong with those people? Quran is the word of Allah, yet it's not created by Allah. How that can work? So why you are saying it is the word of Allah? Hey, Yasin, how are you, Yasin? Yasin, he want to insult me. He called me princess. My friend, you are mistaken. I'm not the princess. It's your prophet. He is the one who put eyeliner. He is the one who pee like a woman. It's not me. He is the one who received Quran only in the clothes of Aisha. He is the one who stay naked when Umar he come, showing his legs and his panties. And when Abu Bakr come, showing his panty. And when Uthman he came, because he's a rich man, he covered himself. Aisha, she said to him, well, how come when my father come, you did not cover yourself? When Umar come, you did not cover yourself. But when Uthman come, you cover yourself. He says, don't you want me to be shy from the one which the angels are shy from him? Muhammad is not shy. He's a naughty guy. Naughty, naughty. Are you calling me princess? Do you like to call me to explain to me why your prophet he be like a woman? And why he put eyeliner? And why men they used to kiss him down his belly? And why he show his legs when he's laying down? And why a bunch of African they were riding him, as the hadith says? Call me if you want. I will open just Paltalk just for you. Let us see who is the princess here. And not to forget that your name alone is additional proof that Islam is false. Yasin. What is Yasin? Let us go to chapter 36. Just for a laugh, comedy time. Your name is Yasin, right? Perfect. What Yasin mean? Yasin. Read with me and laugh. You can go right now to Google and search for Sin, the moon god. Read it. Ya is a word meaning God. Sin is the name of the god. Hey, Mr. Sin, how are you? And now if I ask you what does this mean, you say Allah knows best, brother. Allah knows best, brother. What about your prophet? Do he knew? Oh, the prophet don't know too. Allah only know. Are you there, Mr. Sin, the moon god? Search right now, Google, Sin, the god Sin. The word Ya in the old Egyptian language, and even in the old Aramaic. And I believe it's coming from the Aramaic. Ya is a word meaning God. Doesn't matter if it's a pagan or not. Yeah, God. Okay, Yasin, God Sin. Are you there, or you took a hike? You thought you can insult me and get away with it? Yeah, you know, be careful. You insult me, you will get the answer right away from your text. And what make it more funny, like, you know, you think if you ask the scholars of Islam, you will get an answer. You know what I mean? Like, okay, there's a scholars. And when the Muslims, they say we have a scholars. Okay, let us go and ask the scholars. And then after you ask the scholars who have knowledge, you will come to this conclusion. Scholar Al-Jalalain, the book of Al-Jalalain. Yasin, Allah knows best what he means by those letters. Yeah, because this is taken from the Aramaic language. Sin is a very popular moon god. The moon god have many names, depending on the location. Allah or La in a place, Sin is a different place, but it's the same God. And why in the world somebody, his name is Allah, he will write something nobody knows what it means save him? Why the Prophet did not ask Allah, what do you mean, Mr. Sin? You know what, I don't think this verse was saying Yasin. I think it was saying Ya Bean, Mr. Bean, you know? What Ya mean and what Sin mean? Always the Quran is an amazing book, my friend. Like, look at this one as an example if you want to learn science. Chapter 50, verse number 1. Amazingly beautiful. And from his narration, on the authority of Ibn Abbas, that he said, the interpretation of Allah saying Qaf, even Qaf need interpretation. What is that? It's a letter. He says, it is an azure mountain overlooking the world, and the color of the skies takes from it. Allah swear by it. Have you ever heard of a guy? He called himself God, and then he swear by a letter. And then he claimed that this letter is the name of a mountain, and this mountain is surrounding the earth. Why? The earth is a flat and we have a fence. And then the sky is taking its color from this mountain. It's a blue mountain. I know now why those Americans, they were singing long time ago. I was a kid. They were saying, oh mommy blue. Oh mommy blue, oh mommy blue. It's coming from here. The azure mountain overlooking the world. And Allah swear by it. This God is very weird, man. And don't force me to go to noon, because each one of those letters is crazy. We go to noon, we find that noon is a whale, and that whale is carrying the earth. You know, when you talk to them, those people who you see them in the speaker corners or etc., they try to make you believe that they know what they believe and they know what they are talking about. And then when you show them what the scholars they say, they will reject those scholars. They will say the scholars, those are human. Well, your prophet is a human, isn't he? And even when you show them what their prophet said, they reject it. They accept when they want, and they reject when they want. As an example, Dr. Muhammad, he have a lot of subjects about science. Let us see the hadith. No, hold on. A woman, she came to Muhammad, and Muhammad is very hippie, you know. People, they come to his door, he says, hey, Prophet of Allah, yesterday I have a very hot boom boom dream. Prophet, I cannot tell you what happened there. It was so hot. Alhamdulillah, it was very good. And I saw water coming from my Prophet. And now the question, Prophet, should I wash it? Look at this question. Salim said, the Prophet wife, she said that a woman, her name is Salim. This is one of the women who offered herself to the Prophet to her. Oh Allah, Apostle, Allah does not refrain from saying the truth, for sure, no. Is it obligatory for a woman to take a bath after she say, knock what? Nocturnal? This is a lot of knocking there. Discharge? He said, yes. If she notice there is a water, i.e. discharge. Salama, she said, like, what? The wife of Muhammad. Women, they have orgasm? She got discharge? And this is telling you how bad Muhammad in the bed. He never made his wife have discharge. It's the proof in front of you. The wife of Muhammad saying, what are you talking about? Women, they have orgasm? Like, what? Muhammad, he said, yes. Then why does this child resemble the mother? Genius. The child resembled the mother because of an orgasm. Do you see it? And the wife of the guy who have the power of 40 men in bed, she never have orgasm, and she is wondering what she is talking about. Do we have any Abdul? You want to say something before we leave for today? Because this is too much knocking here. Nocturnal. This Dr. Muhammad, he knew everything. He knew about biology. He knew about astronomy. I mean, come on, go and watch YouTube. Discovery, brother. Allahu Akbar. NASA discovered something. It's totally accurate with the Quran. true story. In different hadith, Muhammad, he says that if the women have orgasm first, the baby will look like her. If the man have orgasm first, he will look like him. And this is sahih. Just wait. 2 weeks from now, they will say this is hadith, is the weak, it's very weak. It says here, Dar es-Salam, Dar es-Salam. Do you see Dar es-Salam? Yeah, it's weak, brother. So, if you are a person who look like me, not good looking, and you don't want your children to look like you, please, we have enough people who look like me in this earth. Don't have orgasm first, okay? So this is what you do. You go and you find a woman, she is pretty. And be sure that you will never, ever have orgasm first. Enough is enough. I don't want to see people look like me in the street no more. I mean, come on. How disgusting. So stop, please, providing ugly people. If you are the good-looking guy and your wife is not, will you come first? I want you right now to sit with your spouse. Speak to her or him. Say, hey, let us make an agreement. Now, how you want to convince the woman that you look better than her? She will kill you. Oh boy. That's not a good, Okay, let us change the hadith. Tell her that if the child, like if a woman come first, the baby, like if your wife, she is not good looking, tell her that the baby, he will like your mother-in-law. That will work. The woman, she will never have orgasm first. She will never like her son like the mother-in-law. Hello? Haram? Genius, Muhammad. So those Abdul, when they want, this is a very sahih statement. When they want, this is very weak, stupid statement. Anyway, man, our video is for 4 hours. 4 hours? Can you believe it? It is 3 a.m. in the morning. That's it. This is the benefit of being single. Imagine you are married and it's just 3 a.m. in the morning talking to people in the internet. Oh boy. I mean, you can imagine, not only you will sleep without dinner, you will never have a baby. Your wife, she will lock the door from outside. She says, stay there, okay, with your computer. Don't come here. All right. Do we have any Muslim want to say anything? What do you mean don't stop? I'm here for 4 hours. I said to myself, let me make a video for 20 minutes. Honestly, I said this video will take not even 20 minutes to laugh at this guy. So if you are a person who want to download this video became so long, I have an advice for you. Cut where it is getting this guy busted and make it one video, maybe like 15-20 minutes. There's no need for the 4 hours, all of it. All right? However, I'm going to leave the whole 4 hours. What do you mean don't stop? My back is hurting. How many hours I'm here today? Do you think, guys, I'm made from steel? And by the way, I'm using the same staff as Solomon. So, like, and the staff now is eating, the termite are eating my staff. So I might fall down any second. Is that what you want to happen to me? Fall down any second? I mean, we are convinced, by the way. I mean, the Muslims, they understand the religion very well, and it's very strong religion. This God, He's all hearing, all knowing. And because He is all hearing, all knowing, He knew that the termite, they ate the stick of Prophet Solomon. And Prophet Solomon, brother, he died standing. How beautiful. It's like a movie, brother. Like when the hero dies standing, that is Solomon. But what makes it more disgusting, that termite was able to conquer Solomon. I mean, what is a great hero? So there's a great king, he dies standing because he was leaning over his staff. And then these filthy little creatures, they call them termite. They start chewing his staff. And Allah is watching. It took them a year to chew it. And then Sulaiman, he fell down. And then the whole kingdom, they noticed that he is dead. So if you want your wife to think that you are still alive, even a year after your death, just get a staff and be sure to die standing. Don't worry, if your wife, she go to the room and she is standing and you talk to you, she talk to you and you don't answer, she will never notice that you are dead. So if she come a week after and you're still standing holding the stick, she will never even suspect. That's normal. And then she come next month and still you are standing. She will never notice anything. Then she come at 40 days, 50 days. She said to you, honey, do you want to eat? You don't eat. You're dead. You want to go to the bathroom? You want to take a shower? Hello? Are you there? Still your wife, she will never notice that you are dead. No way. The guy was standing for a year. Like, you know, his body did not decay. His flesh did not fall apart. I mean, nobody noticed. It's amazing. I can do that, by the way. I can die standing. I can die lying down, and nobody will notice. And you know what? I learned my lesson from Prophet Solomon. I'm going to spray around my room and around my chair so termite cannot get closer to me. This is the knowledge of Allah. Allah is all hearing, all knowing. So he go back on time, he have a time machine, and he learned what happened to Sulaiman, that he have a genie, and he have an army of a chicken, and he have a flying carpet. By the way, all of us Arab, we have a flying carpet. We fly. We know how to fly, we don't know how to do landing. Just to make it simple for you. You can check 9/11 if you don't believe me. So to Sulaiman, we made the wind obedient. If you read the story, you will see that Allah, he gave Sulaiman a flying carpet made it from wood. Then he ordered the wind to carry him. And how big this flying carpet is, not like Alibaba. No, it can fit for 600,000 chairs. All his army, all his animals, all his kingship, and all the equipment of war. In the top of a flying carpet. Brother. True story. Allah is all-knowing. And in the top of that, Allah, he made him control the birds. Look. This is one of the birds who was with Sulaiman in his time. He is saying, yes, this is true. And not only that, Allah, he made the iron soft for Solomon. Like Solomon, he woke, he find iron, it's soft. Like, man, this is so good. All right. And then, brother, he ordered the genie to make for him statues. You see here in translation it doesn't say statues, they are lying. And I thought that statues is haram in Islam. Haram, brother, haram. Statues, haram. I saw some Christian, they have statues. And then we find that the Quran saying, look at this translation, look at this false images. I thought the images is haram. Why the translation is false? Where is the word statues? What happened to the word statues? You think the termite ate it? Ah, here we go. In this page here, the termite did not eat it yet. But wait, in the coming page, the termite will eat the word statues. So Allah, he made Sulaiman control the genie, and he ordered the genie to build for him a synagogue full of statues. Hey, Muslim statues for who? Hello? Statues is haram, brother. Haram. Pagan, haram, brother. Look, what? And then if you ask the Muslim scholar, they say, at that time, statues were not haram. Like, what the heck? Allah is Modi, not Modi, the Prime Minister of India. No, this is different kind of Modi. So sometimes it is haram, sometimes it's not haram. The Modi God. I don't know what to say to you. I know that all of you are jealous because the Prophet of Allah, he knows everything and Allah told him everything. You know, there's one thing I don't understand. The Quran did not mention cockroaches. I mean, he mentioned flying carpet, flying donkey. He mentioned the spider, the talking ant, the talking bird. I mean, it's like a zoo. And then, and he mentioned pigs and monkeys, but there is no cockroaches. Weird. Oh, I think Allah, he mentioned cockroaches. Hold on. Look at this. This God, he speaks very good Arabic. Allah has created every animal of water. Of them is kind who goes upon his belly. Hold on, Abdul. The translation is false. Where it says goes upon his belly, it says he walk on his belly. Have you ever heard of somebody using the word walk to describe somebody he creep? I mean, who is the crazy here? He walk or he creep? So why he is using the word yamshi? So instead of saying he creep, he says he walk on his belly. Change the translator. It's a miraculous book. By changing the translation, you have a new Quran. Alhamdulillah. Huh? So Allah created from the water every living thing. So of them, which he walk upon his belly. Look, 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 look. Do you see the word walk? Have you ever heard of a snake walk upon her belly? I never saw one. And some of them walk with 2 feet. Like, what the heck? It's not 2 legs, 2 feet. And of them, there's who walk on 4. Okay. Is that a cockroach? And that's it? Does this is all the creation of Allah? What about this guy who have like 44 foot, who was late for his date with his girlfriend because he was putting shoes on and socks? So this is the creation of Allah? There's only animal who walk in their belly, and he used the word walk, which is stupid. And there's some they have 2 foot, and there's some they have 4. Like, what? I mean, my friend, this is absolutely true and absolutely accurate and fit with science, and this is scientifically motivated, and you know the thing. You know what? I think this book is written by Joe Biden, because all what I see here is the thing. Do we have any Muslim want to say anything? Anyone? Where's the guy who was calling me coward? What happened to him? Oh, there's many verses like this in the Quran. I mean, this is not our topic. Which one is our topic anyway? Look at this. Hold on. Let me show you this one. You are refreshing my memory now. Amazing, brother. Very beautiful book. This knowledge cannot be from normal human being. There's no way, brother. Read with me and laugh. Chapter 35, verse number 1. I mean, look at this God. Have you ever heard of a God speaking, saying, all praise is due to Allah? Allah is talking now? Oh, okay, let it go. The originator of the heaven and the earth. Look, he will prove it to you. Okay, Mr. Originator. The maker of the angels. Made in Mercedes. Okay. Apostle flying on wings. What? 2 and 3 and 4? You know what, Muslims? I want you to explain to me how an angel he have 3 wings. I like that. Three wings. Man, that's something. I don't know. I don't know if I should draw for you an angel with 3 wings. An angel with 3 wings. So Allah, he created the angels. Some they have 2 wings, some they have 3, some they have 4. But Muhammad, he said he saw Jibreel, he have 600 wings. And there it says, and he increased in his creation what he pleases. Okay, did he increase later? But this is when the Quran received by Muhammad. And the one who delivered this Quran, saying to Muhammad, angels have 2 wings, 3 wings, 4 wings. He himself, he have 600. I mean, who is the stupid here? Hey Muslims, imagine you receive an email from, let us say, Amazon. They say, hey, listen, our car either have 3 wheels or 4 wheels or 2 wheels. And then the guy who delivered to you that message, he is driving a truck, have 600 wheels. Like, what? I'm truly convinced, to be honest with you. It is time to be convinced. It is time to go, man. This Muhammad Egypt thing is endless. The Prophet, he saw Jibreel and he have 600 wings. So what we will do with the verse saying the angels have 2 and the 3 and 4? Who is Jibreel then? He cannot be an angel. Because the angels, they have either 2 or 3 or 4. This guy, you have 600 wings. And by the way, don't ask me, or don't ask the Prophet how was able to count them. I think Jibreel, he told him. There's no way that Jibreel was standing for 10 hours and then the Prophet was counting his feather. And, okay. So, the Prophet, he saw the greatest sign of Allah, implied that he saw Jibreel in his original form, and he had 600 wings. So what this verse is saying, that there is angels have only 2 and 3 and 4. What is the verse? So please don't refresh my memory, otherwise we will stay forever here. Anyway guys, I think it's time to go. I want to say thank you for being here, and I really appreciate you all. Please download the video, and those who will download it, you can cut it pieces to make it about refutation of that guy, because there's many things we mentioned, just to shorten it and get this guy busted. So as you see, we showed you tons of reference. This guy is a potato, and they speak about 6 ethic when they are following the most perverted man ever in history. I want to say thank you for all. Thank you for those who download the videos, who add subtitle, and thank you for those who support us in donation. May the Lord bless you. We feel sorry for the Muslims that they are following a false prophet, and this is why your sheikhs, they deny your religion, and they are in total chaos, and always they claim victory. It was hilarious when the Muslims, they come to the chat today, and I do not know about this video yet, and they were saying like, Allahu Akbar, Shaykh Uthman destroyed 3 Christians, but the one who was talking there is one, and he got him busted. And the guy, he said to them, this is a weak hadith, very weak hadith, and it's not. And they got him busted. And he said to him that Al-Kalam is not a philosophy, and that guy is a Christian, he's not a Shaykh, and he got him busted. He said, no, it's philosophy. Everything there was a joke. And by the way, this guy is not worth my time. But because he mentioned my name, I had to give him some, you know, cake. And I'm sure he'll love it. And now he will make a video says, I challenge the Christian prince to debate me face to face. My friend, I would love to come debate you to face, but the problem, I have 6 wings. I don't know how, I mean, your God Allah, he says angels have only 2 and 3 and 4. And by the way, if I'm an angel, I have 3 wings. The 3rd wing will be where? My head, maybe? I mean, the angel have 3 wings? Where is the 3rd one will be? Maybe he will hold it in his hand. Maybe this wind is a spear, like a car, like if you have a flight. Oh, I remember there's here we go. How I'm going to leave? There's an angel, his name is Photros. This Photros, brother, he commits sin. And then Allah, he broke his wind, and he sent him to an island in Thailand. And then this angel, he heard noise in the sky, and he saw Jibreel flying. Photros, he said to Jibreel, why this noise? Is it the day of judgment? Jibreel, he said to him, no, Photros, it's not the day of judgment. Today, the Prophet have 2 children, they are born, and they are the grandsons, and we are taking thousands of angels to greet them. Photros, he said, please, Jibreel, take me with you. Take me with you, Jibreel. Jibreel, he said to him, how I can take you with me, and your wings is broken? He said to him, ask Allah. And then Allah, he looked at Photros, and he saw how much he loved the children of the Prophet, and he liked to go. So Allah, he fixed his wings, and he told him to fly. And this is a true story. But if I want to talk about it, it's going to take me another day staying here, and already we are here for almost 3 hours 44 minutes. Thank you guys for being here. May the Lord bless you. I have to cut it off, otherwise this is endless garbage, endless stupidity, endless madness. Muhammad, he do a lot of poo-poo, and poo-poo come, poo-poo go, and never become fertilizer because it's made by Muhammad. It is useless poo-poo, because animals' poo-poos are useful, but I don't see any use of the poo-poo of Muhammad, except fictions, fairy tales, and stupidity. Thank you, God bless you, and don't forget to download the videos as soon they are ready, because you know the Muslims, they don't like to see those videos around. Take care.